This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, February 9th. I'm Tori here with Al and Lindsay. Al, do you want to repeat what you said about what I look like?
I didn't say it. All I said was I think Lindsay's going to moderate when you get called down for 7th grade pictures. And then we pick up when other people have to leave. That's the beauty of DBL.
Mr. Hansen's calling. I got to go. All right, let's get started. I don't know if a lot of you have seen this documentary, but I highly recommend it. We're diving in straight into it. It's Britney Spears. She is back in the spotlight because of this new documentary. It's called Framing Britney Spears. I watched it last night. It's on Hulu. It explores her life and the tabloid exploitation of her troubles. The film also dives into the 13 years that her father, Jamie, has been her conservator, which has spawned the Free Britney movement and hashtag. Well, now we got a lot of stars supporting Britney on social media, including Andy Cohen, Bette Midler, and Sarah Jessica Parker. I saw Khloe Kardashian also piped in. The film interviews some of the paparazzi who actually covered her, very public breakdown, like the time she attacked one of their vehicles with an umbrella. It also examines, though, Britney's very famous relationship with Justin Timberlake and exposes some of the questions she faced surrounding the breakup. Like this 2003 interview with Diane Sawyer that hasn't aged well. Let's take a look.
I have to ask a couple of things about Justin.
Okay, of course.
He has gone on television and pretty much said, you broke his heart. You did something that caused him so much pain, so much suffering. What did you do?
I was upset. I was upset for a while. I think we're both really young, and it was kind of waiting to happen. And I will always love him. He'll always have a special place in my heart. He is such a great person.
So the question is, looking back at everything that happened to Britney, was she treated unfairly? And do stars like Justin Timberlake or Diane Sawyer, or all of us really, owe her an apology? I will start. I watched it last night, and I will be the first to say I was 100% part of that media pile-on. And I owe whoever, if she's watching, whatever happens to this, an enormous apology. I made fun of her. I mocked her. I laughed at her. It was a pop culture part of the vocabulary. And I feel awful after seeing what went down. How do you guys feel? I know you were in the media too a bit.
Yeah, it was like an easy, lazy way to go about the story, right? Because the whole media decided whose side they were on. So not Justin Timberlake's, not on Britney Spears' side, on Justin Timberlake's side, and many other things. It made her look like she was always the one who was in the wrong. And I think it sucks because when you have a child star that comes up from Mickey Mouse Club, you've been in the limelight since you were a kid. And so sometimes you don't even know who you are or how to develop that person, and you're constantly being criticized. And so if you notice, a lot of people that were child stars have issues. We saw that with Screech. We saw that with so many people in different films when they were younger. And so Britney had this experience. And I want to pull up this Family Feud clip that I think we have that shows an example of how the media overall was kind of joking on her and not giving her the space to grow up.
Name something Britney Spears has lost in the past year.
Her husband.
Get something. The hair. There it is.
She's lost her sanity.
And she lost her mind. I'm sure Britney appreciates that. Yes, absolutely. Let's find out what are the other things she's lost this past year. Number 2, 5, number 6, number 7, her fans. All righty, there you have it.
I mean, isn't that hard to watch, Al? Like, watching that today, it doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't seem like it would have really happened.
Well, it makes sense in that that's kind of what this country does. You were talking about child stars. We build you up, we knock you down, and then we profit off.
But not all child stars. Like Justin Timberlake was in the Mickey Mouse Club.
All remember the big apology that he gave when he ripped Janet Jackson's shirt. Oh, wait, that didn't happen.
Amen.
But there was a Diane Sawyer where she grilled him about doing that. Oh, wait, it didn't happen. So we all see that there's layers of misogyny, layers of attacking a person that if Diane Sawyer didn't know that there was something going on with her, then she can't sit in that seat, period. And you apologized, Tori, up front. The only reason I didn't pile on is because I grew up with that, and I saw it in my face this close. So that wasn't funny to me. But the rest of the people that saw that, I really appreciate what you said, Tori. If everybody just be like, yeah, I handled that poorly.
Yeah.
We can all move on. But when you double down, like that's some kind of cool strategy, here we are and we cannot progress.
Right, and if you're woke, you got to be able to go down there and say you were part of the problem. Otherwise, you're just dreaming. I do want to say also, at 17, they showed clips of her on a German talk show, and they were like, let's talk about your breasts. And she's like, my breasts? So she was overly sexualized too, and then got blamed for being too sexy. This girl could not win to save her life. I do want to show a clip that's gone viral. This is Craig Ferguson back in the day deciding to not do what I did and what others did, which was to take the easy, lazy route. Look at this monologue and see he was way ahead of his time. Take a look.
Listen, when the kind of weekend she had, she was checking in out of rehab, she was shaving her head, getting tattoos. That's what she was doing this weekend. This Sunday, I was 15 years sober. So I looked at her weekend and I looked at my own weekend and I thought, you know, I'd rather have my weekend.
Yeah, and he went on to say, I've decided not to make fun of her. She's 25, she's still a baby, so I'm changing my monologue, and I will not be doing any jokes about Britney Spears. And still the audience starts to laugh.
They were trying to laugh the whole time. They're like, come on, make fun of her.
Yeah, and it wouldn't happen. So praise for Craig Ferguson for knowing.
You know, like, a lot of these networks are drawn by ratings, and so we saw the same thing when I was speaking about Gayle King and how she interviewed Lisa Leslie, right? There's still somebody overhead that's like, hey, we have to ask the question. So even if we go in a roundabout way, so we're watching that Diane Sawyer interview and saying that it wouldn't happen today, but it probably would happen today, just maybe in a more PG-13 way. I don't think that anybody's going to dodge some of these questions that are happening. When you have to really, you have the big interview, you have to ask the question.
But you have a different vocabulary now, I would think, in 2021, that instead of attack angle, it's like, let's talk about this angle. I hope. Our show
you can't come from a biased side.
Right. I hope, at least our show. And again, my apologies. I was part of that problem. Well, there's another new documentary that caught our eye. It's called Some Kind of Heaven. And it claims to expose the dark underside of the largest retirement community in America, The Villages. Y'all might have heard of it, where everything is geared toward this fun and leisure in a Disney-like setting. If you didn't know, The Villages is a community that's for people 55 and older. It's just north of Orlando, Florida, and it's home to more than 130,000 people. But check out this clip from the doc.
The Village is like being on vacation every day.
The Disney World for retirees.
It is like going off to college.
You come here to live. You don't come here to pass away. There is no place like this. This is Nirvana.
That spooky music makes me think it's not. Okay, some of the other claims about The Villages from the documentary include horrible racism, orgies, and lots of drinking. Apparently, they have a newspaper where they only
take one of those out of there. You got a great pitch. I mean, I'm just saying. You buried the lead.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. They also apparently have a newspaper where, get this, they only print positive news. I could not live like this. Now, I'm not saying I'm against whatever sexual fantasies you want to be part of, but I can't live in a toxic positivity world. I can't.
I mean, society tells you at a certain age you're old, nobody wants you, you get fired from your job, ageism. So this, to me, was a beautiful commercial until you started throwing in some other things like racism, orgies that don't particularly sit with me well. But I mean, it seems like a community. I love the line where, like, we came here to live, not to die.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people tell you everywhere else you go in these retirement communities and you really retire and do absolutely nothing. So I think this is like a good, I mean, there's a negative in everything if somebody wants to dig and find it. Yeah, but these old people are having a good time. Why are we bashing that?
Because it might be a cult, Al.
Look, I read a book 15, 20 years ago called The Graying of America, and it was talking about how people are living longer. Like back in the day, in 1950, you retire at 55 and you might live to 62, and that was a good life. But now people live till their 90s and they're spry and they're taking the Indian dance classes and they're doing things, and there's another 30 years of your life to party it up. And I think they were like, we have our kids, we have a retirement, we did life, now we just want to have this kind of utopia. It kind of reminds me of that Black Mirror episode where you could just go to anywhere you wanted to after you passed away.
Right, so like, when does the line get crossed there between, like, this is utopia and I'm not living in reality, I'm living in a Disney orgy?
Are you telling me these people aren't going to have cell phones and be able to access the negative news, all the negative news they want?
That's fair.
Everything's an option. I mean, these are grown individuals, right? Unless it truly is a cult.
And they're brainwashed.
And they don't have access to anything.
Right.
But if you're happy being brainwashed, what's wrong with that?
Because it's not your brain.
Well, we've seen in history when people get brainwashed, things go really bad.
First of all, worst lawyer ever. I would defend myself in court.
Objection.
It's not your brain. No.
Wait, but like, I mean, that's subversive activity.
If you already feel like you've already had the arguments, you've done the good things in life, you've seen your kids graduate college, you have grandkids, you've done it all, do you still want to be reading the news every day being mad, or do you like say, I want to turn off, sit in a hammock, call Lindsay, have mimosas at 11, and every day is kind of Saturday afternoon?
You know what? Let me tell you something. There's a lot of pent-up anger in that That Village is.
I think we know where it's being released.
I feel like Dory would be the first one to subscribe.
It did look nice with the sailing. It
Yeah.
looked nice. Coming up on DBL, our medical expert, my love, Dr. Coley. She's going to tackle those COVID-19 headlines, including the latest numbers and the variants. Y'all have been writing me like crazy. And should the Senate move forward with the Trump impeachment? We're going to share your comments. Yes, we are. Coming up next in DBL Take.
It's Black History Month, and DBL is recognizing Black leaders who are making history right now. Like Black Lives Matter co-founder Patrisse Khan-Cullors, who created the viral hashtag that rounded up national support against police brutality and social injustice. In addition to being an activist, she's an artist, professor, and a New York Times best-selling author.
Former President Trump is the first president to face an impeachment trial after leaving office. It's also another first for a president. He's accused of inciting an insurrection. But given the history of the United States, with episodes like the Civil War, we wanted to verify, is President Trump the first person to be impeached for insurrection? Our sources are the Senate records and constitutional law professor, Dr. Mark Graber from the University of Maryland.
The answer is no one has been impeached and convicted of insurrection. People have been impeached and convicted, but not of insurrection.
So that's a no. Former President Trump will be the first person to be tried for insurrection. I know what you're thinking, but what about those senators and congressmen who joined the Confederacy before and during the Civil War?
Impeachment is something that's done for members of the executive and judicial branch. Senators may be expelled, representatives may be expelled, but they're not impeached.
That means there is a whole generation of senators and representatives that were expelled from office, but none of them faced a Senate impeachment trial, which makes Donald Trump the first federal official to be tried for insurrection against the United States.
Rick Hooks is here. Welcome to DBL. First off, mazel tov on making it. We're so glad you're here. You were in the hospital with COVID for 127 days and in a coma for 80 of those days.
I didn't wake up till May 2nd. My lung had collapsed. And so they ran in the room. Oh, no, he's gonna die. Please help him. And, I'm still not coherent to what's going on. I haven't woke up fully.
Welcome back to DBL. A big shout out to our coworkers tuning in from home during the pandemic. It ain't easy, so we love you, we miss you, and we hope we're doing well. The Senate impeachment trial for former President Trump kicks off today, but a lot of people are wondering, what's the point? While others think, well, he needs to be held accountable for his role in the Capitol riot. So what do we do when we don't know? We turn to you. DBL Nation, should there be an impeachment trial, or is it just a waste of time and money? You guys are already writing in, and very quickly, he's already been impeached. That's the House part. The Senate is the conviction. So that's what we're talking about, the trial to convict him. We're going to respond to some of your comments. Lindsay, you're up first.
Okay.
Casey from Facebook says, are we going to be able to go back and forth and impeach other past presidents like Lincoln? What a waste.
Well, Casey, I definitely think that, at first I was under the impression that we shouldn't move forward. I wanted to move to the next presidency and allow President Joe Biden, to go into the office and have some type of bipartisanship, because half of the country that supported President Trump probably doesn't want to see this. And I still don't know that we're going to get a majority of those Senate votes to say that President Trump should be convicted for something that might fall under freedom of speech, even though others think it's seditious. So yeah. I think we have a long conversation to have. But like I said, we have to set a precedent. Like Tori said, actually, we have to set a precedent, so we can't just let these things slide.
Interesting. We do need 17 senators from the Republican side to cross over. That's the number we need. Al, this is from Molly on YouTube. It says, I just want to make sure Trump can't run again in 4 years.
Well, that's part of it. I mean, part of the sanctions that he's worried about happening is that he will not be able to run in 2024, any year after that. And I think it affects his pension and a lot of things that, I think it's $1 million a year. Is that right, Tori?
Yeah, Secret Service. There's a lot involved that gets canceled.
Yeah, there's a lot of the fringe benefits that comes from being a former president, having the highest office. So I think that that's at stake as well. I know a lot of people are impeach or don't impeach, but that's what he's worried about.
And again, he's already been impeached. It's just waiting on the conviction. And a lot of you are saying, will the 17 actually turn? It's highly unlikely. I'll be
they kind of
super honest with you.
You're assuming that they're not going to turn. So
right. We're assuming this is exceedingly unlikely that we get 17 Republicans to switch. I'll respond to James from Twitter, who just wrote in, this is a giant waste of time, just like the first impeachment trial. I don't know why people don't seem to think that when someone was bashed in the head and killed, a police officer, and we're supposed to believe in law and order, that this is a waste of time. All of a sudden, like, Blue Lives Matter doesn't seem to matter. 5 people were killed during this riot, and for some reason, the incitement, which is illegal, you're not allowed to incite violence, and if they can show a clear path, it's virtually a slam dunk. Now, it's going to have to take a lot of senators to say, I don't trust my, I will go over to the other side, and I don't know if that will happen. Lindsay, I just want to get your take on this. Scott from Twitter says, Trump must be held accountable so this doesn't happen again.
Yeah, I think we saw something different, Scott, in this presidency, well, the past presidency, because we saw a president that went down to the Capitol and kind of had a conversation with his followers saying, hey, listen, we will go to the Capitol, and then they actually did, and they went beyond what he asked them to do. And so now we have to understand, is that something that we're going to blame on him? Is that something that we're going to blame on some of these other Republicans? And we have to look at how we're going to move forward, because if this happens again, we can't do nothing.
Yeah, that's why we can't do nothing now, in my opinion. But y'all, great job writing in. Coming up in DBL, your favorite doctor ever, Dr. Coley. She's clearing up some coronavirus confusion and putting the latest numbers into perspective. You really don't want to miss her vital information coming up next.
Nearly one.
This February, DBL is all new every day.
No, I think that's ridiculous.
Really? Okay. Like, it is such a joke. I was shocked.
I meant for you to chime in on.
I don't know what you're saying.
DBL is just getting started.
Here come the Pistons.
I love this story.
Stick with us in 2021. We're going to have a great year. Welcome back to DBL. Nearly a year into the pandemic, I remember when she first started here, cases and hospitalizations in the U.S. are dropping. Our medical expert and friend of the show, Dr. Coley, joins us. So, Doc, why are some health experts saying that despite the dropping numbers, we're actually in the eye of the hurricane?
So, Tori, if you think about a hurricane, you're having the storm, and then it seems to settle down. You let your guard down, come out, and you realize that was just the eye, and the rest of the storm is still coming. That is exactly the period that we're in right now. So the cases are down, the hospitalizations are down. We have to pat ourselves on the back for that because we've worked hard to get here. But it's important not to let our guard down yet because there's a new, more contagious variant circulating in the community. In fact, the new study tells us that the variants are going to double about every 10 days. And by March, they may become the dominant strain. So we don't want to let our guard down yet. We want to work hard to really keep these numbers down. And the biggest part of that is obviously the mitigation measures that we've talked about, but also making sure we all get that vaccine as soon as it's available to us.
Excellent. And sorry for that earlier technical issue with the voice. We got it all worked out now. Al, go ahead.
All right. Well, Doc, I'm going to keep going on what you were talking about with the vaccine. What role does the vaccine play in the fight against COVID-19 at this point?
So Al, I think you're kind of a war guy, so I'm going to say it's the cavalry, but myself, I'm a fairy tale girl, so I'm going to say it's the white knight in shining armor. It is what is going to end the pandemic, and it's going to get our lives back to normal. It's going to help us to have those weddings, those graduations, all the things that we want to have. And what we've seen is that the vaccine reduces severe illness. It's already reduced deaths and hospitalizations. It also reduces asymptomatic illness. There's new data that it reduces transmission, so you're maybe not even spreading it to others. And if you do get sick, you'll end up getting a milder version of the illness. So many pluses to the vaccine.
Wow.
I'll take it.
Dr. Coley, I've been waiting to ask you this. So if I get infected with one of these variants, will the vaccine still protect me?
That's
That's what I'm really curious
I want to know
about.
the answer to this.
That's a great question, Lindsay, and the answer is yes. So there is a little bit of concerning data out of South Africa that the AstraZeneca vaccine is not working against the South African variant. In fact, they actually pulled it out of their country. But the good news for us here in the States is that the two vaccines that we have approved, which are the Moderna and the Pfizer vaccine, are working against the variant. And if they're working at 94, 95% for the originals, for the variants, they're saying about 20% less, maybe even a little bit more, but that's still pretty damn good protection. So the good news is that the vaccines are going to play a key role here in the United States as keeping those cases at bay, but we have to make sure we slow down the spread now, because if the virus keeps spreading, it's going to keep mutating, and one day we may end up getting a variant that the vaccine doesn't work against.
Just really quickly, like, how nervous are you, Dr. Coley, about the variants? Are you at a 10? Are you at like a 0? Tell me where. I just want to know where I should be.
So today, Tori, I'm probably about a 7.5.
Okay.
But what worries me the most about it is that, remember this time last year when we met, we had just a handful of coronavirus cases. We were hanging out. We thought we could squelch it, and it spread. Now we're dealing with something more aggressive, more contagious, more deadly, and we're kind of in the same position. So I don't want history to repeat itself,
Right.
but I do think that those vaccines are going to help us keep it from repeating itself.
At least we found the vaccine. That's great news. Thank you for all of that info, Doc. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Just hours before President Biden took over, then President Donald Trump spoke to supporters, said he will be back in some form. But could the impeachment trial keep him out of office in the future? Let's connect the dots. Today, opening statements will begin in the U.S. Senate to decide if they should convict former President Trump. Democrats are accusing him of high crimes and misdemeanors by inciting violence against the U.S. Capitol. There needs to be a 2/3 vote in the Senate to convict him, which some political experts say is unlikely. But to keep him from taking office again, that's a separate vote, one that would only require a simple majority, but would typically come after a conviction. At this point, it's only been used for federal judges who have been convicted and removed. But if Trump is convicted and even disqualified from running again, would he lose some of his presidential benefits? Experts say no. Since he's already a former president, he gets to keep things like Secret Service and his pension. If he was convicted and removed from office while he was president, then yes, he could lose presidential perks. Congress could amend the law providing former presidents with those benefits, but then that would impact all former presidents.
This February, DBL is all new every day.
No, I think that's ridiculous.
Really? Okay. Like, it is such a joke. I was shocked.
I meant for you to chime in on.
I don't know what you're saying.
DBL is just getting started.
Here come the Pistons.
I love this story. Stick with us in 2021. We're going to have a great year. Welcome back to DBL. You guys are writing in like crazy. We so appreciate it. Krister from Facebook says, I've always been a fan of Britney's. I'm glad to see the different conversation happening and not just jokes. And David says, never was a Britney fan, but I do feel she was treated unfairly.
Has he ever heard Toxic?
Yeah, I know.
And he didn't like it.
Right.
Write me.
Yeah, well, very big of you, Tori, to apologize. I hope more people can apologize.
That was awesome.
Also, someone said, Sue says, Trump, it's a total waste of our money. He is out now. Move on. We'll keep writing us in. We are new every day. Great job, Tori. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow.
Daily Blast Live.
A new Britney Spears documentary is creating a ton of controversy, from the toxic treatment she got from paparazzi and the media.
Because of the example for kids and how hard it is to be a parent and keep all of this away from your kids.
To the fallout from her breakup with Justin Timberlake. Does he owe her an apology? Inside America's largest retirement community, known as the Villages. Is it really just a creepy cult with orgies, racism, and lots of drinking? A man spends 127 days in the hospital battling coronavirus, near death in a coma. He's telling his incredible story as we debut our Miracle COVID Survivor series.
And you look it up, you're like, where am I at? Wow. You know?
And a sneak peek at Kellyanne Conway's daughter, Claudia, auditioning for American Idol.
I'm Claudia Conway. We want an American Idol.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
2,
Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, February 9th. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Al. Miss Tori joins us from home. All right, let's get right to it. First and foremost, I know a lot of you are talking about the Britney Spears documentary. I watched it. I'm glad we're going to have the conversation about it today. So Britney is back in the spotlight because of this new documentary called Framing Britney Spears. It explores her life and the tabloid exploitation of her troubles. The film also dives into the 13 years that her father, Jamie, has been her conservator, which has spawned, of course, the Free Britney movement and the hashtag. Now, a lot of stars are supporting Britney on social media, including Andy Cohen, Bette Midler, and Sarah Jessica Parker. The film interviews some of the paparazzi who covered her very public breakdown, like the time that she attacked one of their vehicles with an umbrella. You see the photo right there. It also examines Britney's very famous relationship with Justin Timberlake and exposes some of the questions she faced surrounding their breakup, like this interview with Diane Sawyer in 2003.
You've had a rough year. You've had a year that would test a lot of people. Illness in the family, a breakup, this spasm of publicity.
My goodness, hello. Ew, strong Britney. Yeah, it was a weird time. Ew, I'm embarrassed. Can we stop?
And Britney was 22 there. So the question is, looking back at everything that happened to Britney, was she treated unfairly? And do stars like Justin Timberlake or Diane Sawyer owe her an apology? If you go on social media, you see that there's a lot of people with their pitchforks out for Justin Timberlake, for Diane Sawyer. And before I get Tori in on this, because I know you have a unique perspective, I'm being told, Tori, I just want our viewers to also understand, if you have not seen the documentary, this moment really stuck out to my husband and I. In fact, we had to rewind it. We could not believe it. It's a Family Feud clip. Watch.
Name something Britney Spears has lost in the past year. Her husband. It's something. The hair. There it is. All right.
She's lost her sanity.
And she lost her mind. Yeah. I'm sure Britney appreciates that. Absolutely. Let's find out what are the other things she's lost this past year. Number 2, 5, or 6, or 7, or fans. All righty, there you have it.
Wow. Tori?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Sam, great clip that I think they showed in the documentary that speaks to how the pop culture climate was. I just want to be super honest. If we're going to talk about being woke on the show, and we always say we're 100, I have to be really woke and actually apologize and own up to something that I failed at. I was a pop culture consultant for a lot of channels back then, and I fully mocked Britney Spears. I fully made fun of her. I poked fun of her mental health, the umbrella. I laughed at her. I mocked her. I satirized her. All of these things I did, and if I don't own up to that, I don't know if you can ask Justin Timberlake and all those two. So it has to start with the people in the media that caused it, and the conversation has to change. I know better now. I went through it. I feel terrible for what I did, but you got to own up to what we created a monster. We wanted the monster, and then we pushed the monster down until the monster died, and then we laughed at that monster. And I just think I was part of that problem, and I'm going to own up to that.
Well, I think listen, I think that's a great take and very personal to you, Tori. But I think we have to break this down into pieces, right? Diane Sawyer's interview to me wasn't that outdated. She cheated on Justin Timberlake. She was 22 years old. It's a fair question in my mind, okay? So that's just me. The Family Feud, that would never happen today. We've grown as a society and as a culture. And as far as apologizing, Tori, where does the list end? This is just the beginning, right? We have to go back to the Paris Hilton, Justin Bieber's, the Corey Haines. I mean, the list is never ending. Lindsay Lohan's, I mean, she was just teared apart in the media.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I just want to add one more thing that might not be a big deal. I don't like that Britney is not actually in this documentary herself. I didn't like that Tiger Woods wasn't a part of his documentary that people are profiting on HBO. So I don't like that part of it. But Britney piece we'll get back to.
Yeah, I don't know if Britney, I see your point there. You always want to hear from the source. I don't know legally if Britney, so according to the New York Times, who's behind this documentary, right, they reached out to Britney's camp a number of times, but to their point, their narrative, the New York Times said that it's impossible to actually get to Britney. Now remember, if her father and all these people, they are alleged, right, alleged to not have Britney's best interest. Now that's just alleged, but if that's the case, do you really think that they're going to allow Britney to tell her side of the story? So that's a whole nother caveat to that documentary. Now, to your point in regard to, are we different now, today, than we would have been, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, when we saw everybody poking fun at Britney Spears? I 1,000% think that we are different today. Now, Diane Sawyer, yes. Was she doing her job? Is it anything compared to was it terrible? Yeah. But again, that was almost par for the course back then, to your point, Jeff. However, they never pushed or talked about the narrative about Justin Timberlake. Britney never said she cheated on Justin Timberlake. So that did come off misogynistic, and that was brought up.
But she did.
But nobody at that time knew exactly what happened. They all looked at Britney, and it's never been confirmed, actually, but they all actually pointed their fingers at Britney and never at Justin Timberlake. So the narrative in the documentary is, why didn't anybody point fingers at Justin Timberlake?
Wasn't she with that backup dancer guy? It's not confirmed?
It was never been confirmed, according to the sources that did the documentary.
Well, I think it's a fair question, right? I don't see, but anyways, sorry, Al, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. But really quickly, the Family Feud thing would not stand today.
It would not, and that's why I always say, for as much as we go back and we do look at old clips and we're like, I can't believe he said that, I can't believe she said that, the fact that we are all outraged and all our viewers are shows us that we are progressing, but it's just at a glacier's pace. This is what I wanted to say, because I know we got to keep it moving. The hashtag Free Britney, in a weird way, and I'm not trying to marginalize this other movement, but I feel like it's reminding me of the beginning of the Me Too movement. In the fact that this hashtag, that at first was kind of laughed at and no one knew what it meant, now people are like, oh, this means mental health. So I would ask all the people that took the slings and arrows for the Free Britney hashtag, you've done half the work. Now it's Free Britney to where? Now it's maybe you can show people how to advocate for people that have mental health issues and might not be surrounded with the best people. So I feel like they're on the precipice of the next major movement. So keep going.
Yeah, I'm glad that we are there where we are today. So thank you for that. But back then, do you remember, Tori, I think you brought up the Craig Ferguson moment. Do you want to toss to it?
Yeah. No, very quickly, I just want to toss to it to say this man was ahead of his time, because he's talking about what we're talking about years later. Take a look at Craig Ferguson being real and being honest.
For me, comedy should have a certain amount of joy in it. It should be about us attacking the powerful people, attacking the politicians and the Trumps and the blowhards and going after them. We shouldn't be attacking the vulnerable people. And I think, this is totally a mea culpa, this is just for me. I think my aim's been off a bit recently. I want to change it a bit. So tonight, no Britney Spears jokes.
Yeah, Tori, I'll tell you this. Sam and I sat in these chairs in our commercial break yesterday, and I told her about that clip. And the reason I remembered that clip after all these years is because I remember how much dignity that showed in somebody that's sober, somebody that's dealt with things like that. It's not that funny to other people. So I appreciate what he did that night.
Amen. Yeah, well said. And thank you, Tori, for your complete transparency.
Thanks, Tori.
Yeah, very important.
For sure.
Tori, do not go away. Coming up on DBL, does Kellyanne Conway's daughter, Claudia, want to be the next American Idol? What do you think about her auditioning? And also, our medical expert, Dr. Pyle Coley, is tackling COVID-19 headlines, including the latest numbers and variants. And should the Senate move forward with the Trump impeachment? We're sharing your comments next in DBL Take.
This is a Smile Direct.
Former President Trump is the first president to face an impeachment trial after leaving office. It's also another first for a president. He's accused of inciting an insurrection. But given the history of the United States, with episodes like the Civil War, we wanted to verify, is President Trump the first person to be impeached for insurrection? Our sources are the Senate records and constitutional law professor, Dr. Mark Graber from the University of Maryland.
The answer is no one has been impeached and convicted of insurrection. People have been impeached and convicted but not of insurrection.
So that's a no. Former President Trump will be the first person to be tried for insurrection. I know what you're thinking, but what about those senators and congressmen who joined the Confederacy before and during the Civil War?
Impeachment is something that's done for members of the executive and judicial branch. Senators may be expelled, representatives may be expelled, but they're not impeached.
That means there is a whole generation of senators and representatives that were expelled from office, but none of them faced a Senate impeachment trial, which makes Donald Trump the first federal official to be tried for insurrection against the United States.
Rick Hooks is here. Welcome to DBL. First off, mazel tov on making it. We're so glad you're here. You were in the hospital with COVID for 127 days and in a coma for 80 of those days.
I didn't wake up till May 2nd. My lung had collapsed. And so they ran in the room. Oh, no, he's gonna die. Please help him. And, I'm still not coherent to what's going on. I haven't woke up fully.
Welcome back to DBL. Oh, look at everyone. We just want to give you guys all a big shout out. Those are our co-workers tuning in from home during the pandemic while they work, by the way. So the Senate impeachment trial kicks off today, but a lot of people are wondering what the point of it is, while many others think that the former president should be held accountable for his role in the Capitol riot. So DBL Nation, gotta hear from you on this one. Should there be an impeachment trial in your opinion, or is it just a waste of time and money? Want to hear from you. So we're gonna read some of your comments and then go around the horn. So let's start with you, Tori. You there, Tori?
I'm there. Can you hear me?
Yep. Oh, an owl. Wow. Okay, so Tori. Ooh. Casey from Facebook says, are we going to be able to go back and impeach other past presidents like Lincoln? What a waste of time.
To be super fair, I understand people who think this might be a waste of time, but if you do like the Constitution or think it is the foundation of America, then you would understand that the framers not only put this in specifically to have this happen, they also have had precedent of impeaching someone and convicting him after he was in office 2 years later by his name is William Hastings. So not only is this constitutional, it's happened, people died, and accountability has to be there, or I promise you this, we will see it again.
All right, and Jeff, Molly from YouTube says, I just want to make sure Trump can't run again in 4 years.
Look, Molly, if we have the likes of Joe Biden and Donald Trump again in 2024, I'm going to run. Okay, we need to comb America and find two better candidates. Okay, Joe Biden's fine, right? But let's get some candidates that people get excited about and get behind. Okay, let's not worry about Trump in 4 years.
I think a lot of people feel the same way, man. Okay, you're going to read that? I was going to read my name and then the question.
What? I know, Tori. Al, James from Twitter says this is a giant waste of time, just like the first impeachment trial.
James, I don't know. You must be really short on time. I think this will be a fascinating trial just because I have some questions. I just have questions, James, like where were the police? Where were the National Guard? Why were they understaffed at under 20% on the day that they knew that there could possibly be a situation like this? Why were they allowed to march right up? Why did it take 6 hours for any kind of backup to show up? Don't you have these questions, James? How busy are you? Get a day planner.
Okay, I'll take this next comment. Scott from Twitter says Trump must be held accountable so this doesn't happen ever again. I think to me, that's the most important point, because at the end of the day, I want our children and our grandchildren, whoever is their president at that time, to know that they are not above the law, that they always will be held accountable, whether you're a Democrat or Republican or an independent. We need to make sure that there's a precedent. That's where I'm coming from.
Did you see my question? I just went, and it just went right by me, and I just
don't know how we're not talking more about this, honestly. I mean, how ironic that we got to go, but it's just like
Why is it ironic?
They went after our Congress.
We're doing a TV show that's
we don't have it. Like, no one's talking. We saw more of the ocean spray guy. We heard more about him than we did about the fact that rioters were 10 seconds away from getting to our Congress and our vice president. And everybody's like, yeah, that was weird. What?
No, a lot of people are outraged.
Where? They don't even want to talk about it. They said they don't have time.
There's a lot
check out the trial that started. Jamie Raskin put a video out, and it shows it from the inside, and it is fantastic, and it'll show people what it was like that day. Watch it. It just came out. Just broke.
Thank you, Tori. Coming up on DBL, battling the coronavirus and living to tell about it. One man opens up about the fight for his life in our new series, COVID Miracles. And Dr. Coley is clearing up coronavirus confusion and putting the latest numbers into perspective. You never want to miss her vital information.
Nearly 100.
Welcome back to DBL. Nearly a year into the pandemic, can you believe it? And cases and hospitalizations in the U.S. are dropping. Our medical expert, Dr. Coley, joining us. So, Dr. Coley, why are some health experts saying that despite the dropping numbers, we are in the, quote, eye of the hurricane? That makes me nervous.
You know, it makes me nervous too, but we have to first of all take a minute to celebrate the fact that our cases and hospitalizations are going down. So we're all working hard to do that, and we're doing something right. I think the vaccinations have something to do with it. But I think the point here is that we can't let our guard down because we're in a really tenuous position. The virus has a huge advantage over us because it now has a more contagious version that kills more people circulating in the community. On top of that, because our cases are going down, a lot of states are loosening up restrictions, opening up indoor dining, and kids are going back to school. So we have to think about all of this as we really figure out how to keep this virus at bay. We can't let our guard down. And I think one of the biggest pieces of that moving forward is going to be for all of us to get vaccinated. So as soon as it's your turn, be sure to put your arm out, get on that list, and get your vaccine.
Sign me up. Doc, now this might seem like a simple question, but what does the vaccine do in our fight against COVID-19? What role does it play?
You know, Jeff, the vaccine is the superhero, it's the cavalry, it's the knight in shining armor, whatever analogy you want to use, but that vaccine is going to save the day. It's going to get our lives back to normal. It's going to allow us to have parties again, have weddings, have Super Bowl celebrations, all the things that we've been dying to do. And what we've seen with the vaccine so far is that it reduces severe symptomatic cases. It also reduces asymptomatic transmission. It's already reduced hospitalizations and death. And we've also learned that it reduces asymptomatic cases. And even if you get sick, it gives you a milder version of the virus. So there's just so many advantages to getting the vaccine, and I can't wait for all of us to be vaccinated.
All right, well, you're saying this vaccine is everything, so let's hope it keeps going with this question. So if I was to be infected with the variant, will the vaccine still protect me?
This is an important question, Al. I'm so glad you asked me this. And today, for the first time, we got some data out of South Africa that the virus outsmarted the vaccine. So the South African variant, the AstraZeneca vaccine doesn't work against the South African variant. So to me, that's a little bit of a wake-up call that these variants are getting smarter. Now, thankfully for us here in the United States, the Moderna and Pfizer vaccine are the ones that are approved, and they do seem to have efficacy against the variant. It's a little bit blunted from that 95%, about 20% less efficacy against those variants, but that's still really, really good. So I think the take-home message here is get that vaccine to protect yourself against the variants and to slow the spread of the virus so that we can prevent new variants from emerging.
Amen. I cannot wait till all of us are vaccinated, and I just hope everybody out there has confidence. Listen to Dr. Coley. Get your vaccinations. We appreciate you, Dr. Coley.
Truly.
And we'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Just hours before President Biden took over, then President Donald Trump spoke to supporters, said he will be back in some form. But could the impeachment trial keep him out of office in the future? Let's connect the dots. Today, opening statements will begin in the U.S. Senate to decide if they should convict former President Trump. Democrats are accusing him of high crimes and misdemeanors by inciting violence against the U.S. Capitol. There needs to be a 2/3 vote in the Senate to convict him, which some political experts say is unlikely. But to keep him from taking office again, that's a separate vote, one that would only require a simple majority, but would typically come after a conviction. At this point, it's only been used for federal judges who have been convicted and removed. But if Trump is convicted and even disqualified from running again, would he lose some of his presidential benefits? Experts say no. Since he's already a former president, he gets to keep things like Secret Service and his pension. If he was convicted and removed from office while he was president, then yes, he could lose presidential perks. Congress could amend the law providing former presidents with those benefits, but then that would impact all former presidents.
This February, DBL is all new every day. No,
I think that's ridiculous.
Really? Okay. Like, it is such a joke. I was shocked.
I meant for you to chime in on. I don't know what you're saying. DBL is just getting started.
Here come the Pistons.
I love this story. Stick with us in 2021. We're going to have a great year.
I'm currently not eligible to compete in USA Powerlifting because they have instituted a complete ban on trans women competing in the women's category.
To be honest with you, many of us just don't know the details. So it is so important that we have these conversations.
Tomorrow on on DBL, notorious convicted killer Jodi Arias. Her former psychologist takes us inside her twisted mind.
So the whole idea of a jealous rage or any of those things didn't fit the evidence.
That's her narrative. But go ahead.
No,
Erica.
that's the record. No, back up.
The record's
back up.
That's in True Crime Chronicles. And the debate that divides the country, transgender athletes. A trans powerlifter shares her story after being banned from competing against women.
Where is the fairness in categorically banning an entire group of people?
Don't miss a second tomorrow on DBL.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. Okay, so a lot of comments in regard to Trump, the impeachment, as well as Britney. Let's start with Trump. Georgia on Facebook says, I completely agree, Al. Where is the outrage? Linda says, then wouldn't it follow suit that we go back and impeach Obama? Sean says he should be convicted. Otherwise, the next authoritarian president won't be so incompetent. And then Britney, in regard to Britney Spears, Linda says Diane was out of line in that interview. Krista says, I've always been a fan of Britney, and I'm so glad to see a different conversation about mental health and not just jokes about her anymore. And David says, never was a Britney fan, but I do feel she was treated unfairly over the years. Very big of you, Tori, to apologize, David says.
For sure. Thank you. I appreciate that. We should all take our own time to figure out what we had a part in, you know?
Well said. If you're leaving us, you can catch the second half of the show on Facebook or YouTube. You can send in your comments and be part of our DBL Nation. And if you're sticking around, here is what's coming up on DBL.
I'm going to stick around.
Please stick around. You have to. You work here. We're remembering the life and career of OG girl group star Mary Wilson from the Supremes. Plus, one man's remarkable survival story during the pandemic, from almost dying to staying alive. It's the start of our new series, COVID Miracles. And we got to thank our co-workers watching from home right now. We can't all be in the studio because of the virus, but they're still working hard. DBL's new every day. We'll be right back.
Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Oh, welcome to DBL. That's the classic song Stop in the Name of Love from the Supremes. The music world is mourning the loss of Mary Wilson from the legendary group. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Al. Tori joining us from home. You know, and 76 years old, very young, right? When you really think about it, I think about my parents, they're in their 70s, and I know that she had like 9 or 10 grandchildren, 3 kids. So my heart is just absolutely with the whole family today. And her death was unexpected. She died suddenly last night in her home in Nevada, and her cause of death is not known. And of course, Mary began her career in Detroit, rose to fame alongside Diana Ross in the 1960s with the Supremes. The group produced 12 #1 hits like Stop in the Name of Love, Someday We'll Be Together, and Baby Love. And in later years, Mary became a best-selling author, a U.S. cultural ambassador, and activist who raised awareness about HIV and AIDS and advocated for world peace. This morning, Diana Ross offered condolences to Mary's family on Twitter, saying she has many wonderful memories of their time together and that the Supremes will live on in our hearts. And you know, Al, she just mentioned a couple days ago on her YouTube that she's about to release new music. So, you know, my heart breaks for her family, but her legacy will continue on.
You know what, Sam? We're using words like phrases like mourn the loss and your heart breaks, but also what about let's celebrate an unbelievable life? That has to be in there too, all right? You start off as one of the most famous people on the planet. Your music will live on forever. Your art will live on forever. Then you transition into an activist with 10 grandkids and 3 kids. If I can take that package deal and a great granddaughter, I'll take that 10 times out of 10 and twice on Sunday.
Absolutely. I know. May she rest in peace. Okay, so we are getting a first look at Claudia Conway's American Idol audition. Kellyanne's daughter was featured in a promo for the season premiere on Sunday. Have a look.
Very nervous, but very excited.
She's a social media sensation.
I'm Claudia Conway. My parents are high-profile political figures.
But will she get a ticket to Hollywood?
We want an American Idol.
In a recent TikTok video, Claudia said she has been singing her whole life, that she even plays 8 instruments. She said that American Idol reached out to her after she posted a video of her singing. You know, here we go again. I know she's 16 years old. Like, we just had that Britney Spears story, and everybody's really quick to throw stones at Claudia, saying she's doing it for fame, she's doing it for all these things. She's 16. I don't know where to go with this story. So
yeah, and I kind of feel some sort of way about American Idol reaching out to her, right? Yeah. When you say Kellyanne Conway, it doesn't usually end well. I mean, just at least in the media, it doesn't, right? Some people might like her. A lot of people don't.
She's polarizing.
She's very polarizing. That's the exact word to use. And then, hold on, Tori, let me finish this thought. And then her daughter and her had this controversy that's very public. I don't like that they're using a 16-year-old to promote the show. American Idol could live on its own. I don't think they need this type of press, especially when we're just talking about Britney Spears and what she went through. So, sorry, Tori, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think people don't know the full story of the Conway family. It's sick. It's really sick. And we talk about Free Britney. There's some abuse, alleged abuse going on in that house. Like, I'm not talking funny jokes anymore. It's gotten too far. So for American Idol to pull this girl from vulnerability into a mess like American Idol is, I think, abusive in itself.
I agree. I absolutely agree. I mean, we talk about child stars, and we're like, oh, well, how did they got so famous so young, and now they're having problems in their 20s. We're doing it again. We did that story, and now we're doing it again.
America wants to watch it, and then in 20 years, you apologize for it. That's what the way it is.
However, the difference is us right now. We see it, we're protective over it, and we talk about that. Before, 10, 15 years ago, I don't know if any of us or if any of the media or any of the people watching would have said, so we have grown. We have grown, and I think that's the silver lining, and I hope that more people advocate for her and look out for her mental health, because again, she's 16, you guys, she's a minor, so let's remember that. Okay, so there's another new documentary that caught our eye. It's called Some Kind of Heaven, and it claims to expose the dark underbelly of the largest retirement community in America. The Villages, where everything is geared toward fun and leisure in a Disney-like setting. So if you don't know, The Villages is a community that's for people 55 and older. It's just north of Orlando, Florida, and it is home to more than 130,000 people. Check out this clip from the documentary.
The Village is like being on vacation every day.
The Disney World for retirees.
it is like going off to college.
You come here to live. You don't come here to pass away. There is no place like this. This is Nirvana.
Now, some of the other claims about the Villages from the documentary include racism, orgies, lots of drinking. They also apparently have a newspaper there where they only print positive news. Could you guys live in a place like this? And I hope that they get to the bottom of some of these allegations.
I was just going to say, every cult starts with like a good idea, right? You're like,
Yeah.
oh, I would totally join that group. And then later, they're drinking crazy things, whatever it is.
Honestly, Jeff, that's the vibe I got. First of all, were there any black people there? That must be the other village.
No.
But like, where were they? There wasn't one in there?
I know. You couldn't.
It was very, like, come on, man.
Totally.
Even if you don't live there, like, have a dude on the bench.
You go in there?
No. Well, 55. I've had this discussion, Jeff. Our executive producer is 53, and I was like, he could technically live there in 2 years. He's a young person.
What did he say?
Yes, why not?
Does he want to go?
I think the thing is, we think about people.
So you're talking about Chris, our producer.
What about
he wants to go to Swing
Chris
City?
alone?
Is that it? Chris, you're going to Swing City?
What, are you going to the Villages?
He's already got a plot of that land there. There it is.
Chris, we don't mean to put you on the spot
It's
here.
called Chris's place. Yeah.
They put the lights on it, too.
But I mean,
they put the lights on.
Tori, could you see this being a good idea? I think for a lot of people, they've lived their life, they have their pension, they have their grandkids. They're like, I don't want to read bad news. I don't care about politics.
That sounds like a nightmare to me, Tori. Just being like constantly surrounded by a party when I like lived that in my 20s. I don't want to go back to that. I've grown from that.
Yeah, it sounds miserable.
No, thank you.
You know what?
I kind of do.
You know what
Jeff
my
wants to
Buddhist
go
teacher
there. Yes.
says? My Buddhist teacher says this about people that like always are Can you stop? They're always laughing. They're always happy no matter what. She says there's a lot of pent-up anger in there, and that's what I agree with. I can never live like that.
No.
Who's this teacher? Are you just reading like
Pema Chodron?
She's very well known.
Okay, that's not your teacher.
Chodron.
Okay?
Very well.
You're just reading,
World
things off
yes,
of here.
she is.
You
I
don't
will
have a
fight
personal
you.
relationship.
She does. She's world renowned.
Excuse
Pema.
me.
They're
She is
friends?
definitely my teacher.
Excuse
me. She doesn't have to know me to be my teacher.
Al's gone. We missed him.
Wait
He's
a second.
dreaming about Swing City.
I want to go back.
Swing City.
You want to go there?
Why
That's
not?
Weird.
It sounds like a swim up bar is involved, and I can handle myself mentally.
You want to go up to the swim up bar?
Yeah.
How would that be any different than living in Mexico, like for your last 30, 40 years?
Why not?
Why not?
Really?
Get a little timeshare down there. Get away from some of the news.
Because it's a
I don't wanna hear
bubble
about
of
Britney
racism.
Spears.
It's a
I'll drink
bubble.
out of this pineapple for a little bit.
Yeah.
You're stuck.
Stuck?
If I want to go to a swim up bar, I will get on a plane and I'll go there. If I want to go to a foam party, please somebody hit me on the side of the head and say you're not
70 years old.
old.
You can't go to a foam party at 70.
You can go to a foam party.
No, you can't.
Do you know
Our
the
senior
liability
executive
for
producer
that?
went to a foam party.
Who?
Bert goes.
Bert goes to
Bert.
a party.
Bert goes to Swing City too?
He doesn't go to Swing City.
Bert, we're not calling you out or anything, but who else can we call out?
I have to clarify.
I think you've said
our
enough.
Senior executive producer does this weekly trip. They haven't done it because of the pandemic, but they do. No, I'm
Sam's
sorry.
pulling at the curtain.
Yearly.
Hold up. Poor Bert does a yearly trip with his family, okay, where they go to Mexico. He's there with his kids and his wife, and they do attend a foam party, but the whole resort goes to the foam party. The whole resort.
Wow.
The thoughts expressed by Sam do not reflect the other panel members.
No, not at all.
You're innocent. We love you, and I know you go to the foam party with your kids and your wife.
People must be like, man, it's a great place to work. Bert and Chris, they sound like great dudes.
We have a good
Best
team.
bosses ever.
Coming up on DBL, falling in love during the pandemic. Why two people listened to their hearts and took a major leap of faith on FaceTime. And from the brink of his death to his stunning survival, one man's story of beating the coronavirus. Do not miss the start of our new series, COVID Miracles. And our DBL staff is working hard at home during the pandemic.
Except Bert, he's at a foam party.
I'm going to get a picture of Bert. I have a picture of Bert at the foam party. We're going to get a picture of Bert at the foam party. Love to all of our colleagues. Can't wait to be reunited with you all. We'll be right back.
It's Black History Month, and DBL is recognizing Black leaders who are making history right now. Like Black Lives Matter co-founder Patrisse Khan-Cullors, who created the viral hashtag that rounded up national support against police brutality and social injustice. In addition to being an activist, she's an artist, professor, and a New York Times best-selling author.
Close.
Former President Trump is the first president to face an impeachment trial after leaving office. It's also another first for a president. He's accused of inciting an insurrection. But given the history of the United States, with episodes like the Civil War, we wanted to verify, is President Trump the first person to be impeached for insurrection? Our sources are the Senate records and constitutional law professor, Dr. Mark Graber from the University of Maryland.
The answer is no one has been impeached and convicted of insurrection. People have been impeached and convicted, but not of insurrection.
So that's a no. Former President Trump will be the first person to be tried for insurrection. I know what you're thinking, but what about those senators and congressmen who joined the Confederacy before and during the Civil War?
Impeachment is something that's done for members of the executive and judicial branch. Senators may be expelled, representatives may be expelled, but they're not impeached.
That means there is a whole generation of senators and representatives that were expelled from office, but none of them faced a Senate impeachment trial, which makes Donald Trump the first federal official to be tried for insurrection against the United States.
Rick Hooks is here. Welcome to DBL. First off, mazel tov on making it. We're so glad you're here. You were in the hospital with COVID for 127 days and in a coma for 80 of those days.
I didn't wake up till May 2nd. My lung had collapsed. And so they ran in the room. Oh, no, he's going to die. Please help him. And, I'm still not coherent to what's going on. I haven't woke up fully.
Welcome back to DBL. At 57 years old, Rick Hooks had barely ever gotten a cold until COVID-19 took hold of his life and almost didn't let him go. After 127 days in the hospital, miraculously, Rick has come out on the other side. Earlier, Tori spoke to Rick in our special series, COVID Miracles.
The miraculous Rick Hooks is here. Welcome to DBL. First off, mazel tov on making it. We're so glad you're here. You were in the hospital with COVID for 127 days and in a coma for 80 of those days. So can you just take us back, paint the picture of your symptoms starting and sort of what happened and what your mental state was at the time?
I was laying down. I didn't want nothing to eat or nothing. I was weak. And, I was like, oh. And then my breathing, it seemed like my whole chest my whole windpipe was coming. So I had to call 911.
Wow.
So my numbers was down like maybe 79 to 80. He hooked the oxygen up to me. And your average thing is going to be close to 100. And all I can remember, doctor, this guy's fighting for his life. We have to put him on the thing. And so I remember 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He put the thing on my face. That was in March. I didn't wake up till May 2nd. My lung had collapsed. And so they ran in the room. Oh, no, he's going to die. Please help him. And, I'm still not coherent to what's going on. I haven't woke up fully. They had to put a hole in my chest to get my lung pumped back. Pumped back up. And then I went back to sleep and I didn't wake up to June after that.
Oh my word. So your descriptions are so almost cinematic. Like I can picture myself being there with you. When you were asleep, you had a very sort of visceral experience. You heard music. Can you take me through this amazing music that you heard and what it was like when you were asleep, the sensations? Paint me that picture.
California Dreaming stayed in my head a lot.
You mean by the mamas and the papas?
Yeah, by the mama and the papa. That stayed in my head, and by the animals. Right. House of the Rising Sun.
In the house of the rising sun.
The whole time. Picture this, been in a swimming pool full of oil and mud, and it's pitch black around you. You don't know where you're at, and you just try to open your eyes, and you see people in bright lights floating on top of you, and you're looking up, and you're like, where am I at? Wow. You know, and I'm looking, I'm like, and something in my back of my mind, my conscience is telling me, you ain't supposed to be here. Whoa. You ain't supposed to be here. So right then, I started, you know, I have to fight. It's a journey. I'm like, please help me. Please help me. Somebody help me. Yes.
Okay, so what's going on in your physical body while you're in the coma? Did the doctors even expect you to live through it?
No, that was like, basically one of the doctors said, to tell you the truth, I think you were like 90% dead. You got to understand, my lungs collapsed. I had blood clots on my left-hand side. I was on a ventilator. I was on dialysis. And they're like, they just shake their head every time they see me.
You're a miracle. Oh my God.
You're a miracle, man.
Now, all in all, you died twice. You ultimately had COVID 3 times. How did your recovery go, and are you fully recovered?
Oh, no, you never really, I don't think you never fully recovered.
Yeah.
Your body is like a baby.
Yeah.
So you have to build your muscles back because you've been incubated so long, you know, your body's not your body. You have to learn how to swallow again. Wow. You have to learn how to chew food again.
Oh my God.
You have to learn how to breathe again.
Wow.
And you have to learn how to walk again. Mentally is the key to the whole thing.
Right.
If you're not strong on the other side, you will never make it back.
Wow.
Make no mistake about it. When you're down there and the other side, only thing you have left is God. That's it. That's it.
Rick Hooks, we wish you the best in your recovery. Thank you so much for taking the time, for sharing your story. I think people need to be personalized to this so they understand COVID with a face. And you really helped explain that, and you gave hope to a lot of people right now. So thank you so much.
I'm just a messenger. I'm just a messenger.
Very strong.
If I can help anybody, if I can help one person, I've done my job as a messenger.
Wow. We'll be right back.
If you do believe in heaven and hell, where do you think you're going? And can you deal with, if you think you're going to hell, can you deal with that?
This February, DBL is all new every day.
No, I think that's ridiculous.
Really? Okay. Like, it is such a joke. I was shocked.
I meant for you to chime in on.
I don't know what you're saying.
DBL is just getting started.
Here come the Pistons.
I love this story. Stick with us in 2021. We're going to have a great year.
Welcome back to DBL. As we near Valentine's Day, we want to share love stories that remind us good things are possible. Even if the world feels like a mess, that's what happened between Mike and Anju. The couple shares how their leap of faith turned into a lasting love. I love love. Check it out.
Hi there, I'm Mike.
I'm Anju.
And we met online in April 2020 10 months ago.
And we've been together since. For me, what stood out when Mike's profile came across, first his pictures were quite fun and he was quite good looking. And then on his profile, he said, I dropped out of school at 15. And I'm like, gosh, this is intriguing. That's where it all started.
But there was another fun part to the story, which was on my profile, it showed up as downtown. Andrew didn't know downtown where.
I live in Milwaukee, so I'm thinking he lives in Chicago downtown, worst comes to worst, right? So I'm like, oh, that's only a 90-minute train ride. You know, it's close by. I'm in Chicago quite often. That's doable.
So the secret was I paid for the premium account where I could date anywhere in the world. And then she ends up with me in Nashville. So it was kind of, I think, a little bit of a surprise to her at first.
I joke about this. If I hadn't made my profile on March 10, even if I was off by a date, I would not have met Mike, right? So we talk about stars aligning. The chat opened up and I said, hey, this is an opener. I said it and Mike replies back, thanks for your message. And how about a FaceTime date tomorrow? Which is perfect. So it was my first FaceTime date.
So we get talking and that, and we're enjoying it. And then, you know, we keep going for 2 hours. And I remember at the end of the date, I said to a friend, I said, I think this might be the one. It was really good.
And as we're going through it, Mike goes, well, if it was regular times, I'll get on a plane and come see you. I Googled how far is the drive from Milwaukee to Nashville, and it was 8.5 hours. And I said, oh, it's only an 8.5-hour drive.
So I said, we'll toss a coin. Heads, I'll come to you, tails, you come to me. Of course, the toss ended up that she was driving to me. So the next morning, she drove to me.
And I say I won the toss because I didn't really want him coming to my place, because how do you kick somebody out? Here, I knew I could at least, I had it in me to leave.
And I was the other way around. I thought I'd rather actually make the drive because it's during COVID, there's nothing going on. And Andrew called and said, I'm here. So I buzzed her up and I saw her walking down the hallway and she dressed really nicely. So I felt good straight away.
My heart did skip a beat. It felt like all that gutsy move that I made was worth it. I used to really let my heart and mind drive me. And for once, I listened to my gut. And it's the best thing I ever did.
It is. When you think about it, we meet online. Andrew drives 8.5 hours for us to meet the next day. We start living together immediately. After 60 days, we buy a property together. I mean, if one of our kids did this, we'd think they were nuts. So I don't think this is something I can say is right or I'd recommend. It's just been beautiful for us.
What I hope is people should never stop dreaming and believing. Because when you least expect it, it's gonna happen. Our first date lasted 204 days.
But it didn't really matter, did it? Because it all worked out.
Ooh, I was enjoying the story myself. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought.
Just hours before President Biden took over, then President Donald Trump spoke to supporters, said he will be back in some form. But could the impeachment trial keep him out of office in the future? Let's connect the dots. Today, opening statements will begin in the U.S. Senate to decide if they should convict former President Trump. Democrats are accusing him of high crimes and misdemeanors by inciting violence against the U.S. Capitol. There needs to be a 2/3 vote in the Senate to convict him, which some political experts say is unlikely. But to keep him from taking office again, that's a separate vote, one that would only require a simple majority, but would typically come after a conviction. At this point, it's only been used for federal judges who have been convicted and removed. But if Trump is convicted and even disqualified from running again, would he lose some of his presidential benefits? Experts say no. Since he's already a former president, he gets to keep things like Secret Service and his pension. If he was convicted and removed from office while he was president, then yes, he could lose presidential perks. Congress could amend the law providing former presidents with those benefits, but then that would impact all former presidents.
This February, DBL is all new every day.
No, I think that's ridiculous.
Really? Okay. Like, it is such a joke. I was shocked.
I meant for you to chime in on.
I don't know what you're saying.
DBL is just getting started.
Here come the Pistons.
I love this story. Stick with us in 2021. We're going to have a great year.
I'm currently not eligible to compete in USA powerlifting because they have instituted a complete ban on trans women competing in the women's category.
To be honest with you, many of us just don't know the details. So it is so important that we have these conversations. Welcome back to DBL. So we did earlier talk about our senior executive producer, Bert, at a foam party with his family. Well, here's proof.
Yes.
Wait, it's just Bert.
I thought
that. His family was there. Just kidding, Bert. There's his daughter.
All right.
And I believe we have one with his wife, Lynn, too. They're still working on it. Okay, they're still working on it. We might have that photo.
Bert is the original hashtag girl dad.
Bert's the best.
He loves his family. They travel, and they take the same picture every year on vacation that they did since the girls were little.
No, really I love Bert the most.
We love you, Bert. DBL's new every day. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
A new Britney Spears documentary is creating a ton of controversy, from the toxic treatment she got from paparazzi and the media.
Because of the example for kids and how hard it is to be a parent and keep all of this away from your kids.
To the fallout from her breakup with Justin Timberlake. Does he owe her an apology? Inside America's largest retirement community, known as the Villages. Is it really just a creepy cult with orgies, racism, and lots of drinking? A man spends 127 days in the hospital battling coronavirus near death in a coma. He's telling his incredible story as we debut our Miracle COVID Survivor series.
And you look it up, you're like, where am I at? You know?
And a sneak peek at Kellyanne Conway's daughter, Claudia, auditioning for American Idol.
I'm Claudia Conway.
We want an American Idol.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, February 9th. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Al. Miss Tori joins us from home. All right, let's get right to it. First and foremost, I know a lot of you are talking about the Britney Spears documentary. I watched it. I'm glad we're going to have the conversation about it today. So Britney is back in the spotlight because of this new documentary called Framing Britney Spears. It explores her life and the tabloid exploitation of her troubles. The film also dives into the 13 years that her father, Jamie, has been her conservator, which has spawned, of course, the Free Britney movement and the hashtag. Now, a lot of stars are supporting Britney on social media, including Andy Cohen, Bette Midler, and Sarah Jessica Parker. The film interviews some of the paparazzi who covered her very public breakdown, like the time that she attacked one of their vehicles with an umbrella. You see the photo right there. It also examines Britney's very famous relationship with Justin Timberlake and exposes some of the questions she faced surrounding their breakup, like this interview with Diane Sawyer in 2003.
You've had a rough year. You've had a year that would test a lot of people. Illness in the family, a breakup, this spasm of publicity.
My goodness, hello. Ew, strong Britney. Yeah, it was a weird time. Ew, I'm embarrassed. Can we stop this?
And Britney was 22 there. So the question is, looking back at everything that happened to Britney, was she treated unfairly? And do stars like Justin Timberlake or Diane Sawyer owe her an apology? If you go on social media, you see that there's a lot of people with their pitchforks out for Justin Timberlake, for Diane Sawyer. And before I get Tori in on this, because I know you have a unique perspective, I'm being told, Tori, I just want our viewers to also understand, if you have not seen the documentary, this moment really stuck out to my husband and I. In fact, we had to rewind it. We could not believe it. It's a Family Feud clip. Watch.
Name something Britney Spears has lost in the past year.
Her husband.
Get something. The hair. There it is. All right.
She's lost her sanity.
And she lost her mind. I'm sure Britney appreciates that. Absolutely. Let's find out what are the other things she's lost this past year. Number 2, 5, or 6, or 7, or fans. All righty, there you have it.
Wow. Tori?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Sam, great clip that I think they showed in the documentary that speaks to how the pop culture climate was. I just want to be super honest. If we're going to talk about being woke on the show, and we always say we're 100, I have to be really woke and actually apologize and own up to something that I failed at. I was a pop culture consultant for a lot of channels back then, and I fully mocked Britney Spears. I fully made fun of her. I poked fun of her mental health, the umbrella. I laughed at her. I mocked her. I satirized her. All of these things I did. And if I don't own up to that, I don't know if you can ask Justin Timberlake and all those two. So it has to start with the people in the media that caused it, and the conversation has to change. I know better now. I went through it. I feel terrible for what I did, but you got to own up to what we created a monster. We wanted the monster, and then we pushed the monster down until the monster died, and then we laughed at that monster. And I just think I was part of that problem, and I'm going to own up to that.
Well, I think listen, I think that's a great take and very personal to you, Tori. But I think we have to break this down into pieces, right? Diane Sawyer's interview to me wasn't that outdated. She cheated on Justin Timberlake. She was 22 years old. It's a fair question in my mind, okay? So that's just me. The Family Feud, that would never happen today. We've grown as a society and as a culture. And as far as apologizing, Tori, where does the list end? This is just the beginning, right? We have to go back to the Paris Hilton, Justin Bieber's, the Corey Haines. I mean, the list is never ending. Lindsay Lohan's, I mean, she was just teared apart in the media.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I just want to add one more thing that might not be a big deal. I don't like that Britney is not actually in this documentary herself. I didn't like that Tiger Woods wasn't a part of his documentary that people are profiting on HBO. So I don't like that part of it. But the Britney piece we'll get back to.
Yeah, I don't know if Britney, I see your point there. You always want to hear from the source. I don't know legally if Britney, so according to the New York Times, who's behind this documentary, right, they reached out to Britney's camp a number of times, but to their point, their narrative, the New York Times said that it's impossible to actually get to Britney. Now remember, if her father and all these people, they are alleged, right, alleged to not have Britney's best interest. Now that's just alleged, but if that's the case, do you really think that they're going to allow Britney to tell her side of the story? So that's a whole nother caveat to that documentary. Now, to your point in regard to, are we different now, today, than we would have been, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, when we saw everybody poking fun at Britney Spears? I 1,000% think that we are different today. Now, Diane Sawyer, yes. Was she doing her job? Is it anything compared to was it terrible? Yeah. But again, that was almost par for the course back then, to your point, Jeff. However, they never pushed or talked about the narrative about Justin Timberlake. Britney never said she cheated on Justin Timberlake. So that did come off misogynistic, and that was brought up.
But she did.
But nobody at that time knew exactly what happened. They all looked at Britney, and it's never been confirmed, actually, but they all actually pointed their fingers at Britney and never at Justin Timberlake. So the narrative in the documentary is, why didn't anybody point fingers at Justin Timberlake?
Wasn't she with that backup dancer guy? It's not confirmed?
It was never been confirmed, according to the sources that did the documentary.
Well, I think it's a fair question, right? I don't see, but anyways, sorry, Al, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. But really quickly, the Family Feud thing would not stand today.
It would not, and that's why I always say, for as much as we go back and we do look at old clips and we're like, I can't believe he said that, I can't believe she said that, the fact that we are all outraged and all our viewers are shows us that we are progressing, but it's just at a glacier's pace. This is what I wanted to say, because I know we got to keep it moving. The hashtag Free Britney, in a weird way, and I'm not trying to marginalize this other movement, but I feel like it's reminding me of the beginning of the Me Too movement. In the fact that this hashtag, that at first was kind of laughed at and no one knew what it meant, now people are like, oh, this means mental health. So I would ask all the people that took the slings and arrows for the Free Britney hashtag, you've done half the work. Now it's Free Britney to wear. Now it's maybe you can show people how to advocate for people that have mental health issues and might not be surrounded with the best people. So I feel like they're on the precipice of the next major movement. So keep going.
Yeah, I'm glad that we are there where we are today. So thank you for that. But back then, do you remember, Tori, I think you brought up the Craig Ferguson moment. Do you want to toss to it?
Yeah. No, very quickly, I just want to toss to it to say this man was ahead of his time, because he's talking about what we're talking about years later. Take a look at Craig Ferguson being real and being honest.
For me, comedy should have a certain amount of joy in it. It should be about us attacking the powerful people, attacking the politicians and the Trumps and the blowhards and going after them. We shouldn't be attacking the vulnerable people. And I think, this is totally a mea culpa, this is just for me. I think my aim's been off a bit recently. I want to change it a bit. So tonight, no Britney Spears jokes.
Yeah, Tori, I'll tell you this. Sam and I sat in these chairs in our commercial break yesterday, and I told her about that clip. And the reason I remembered that clip after all these years is because I remember how much dignity that showed. And somebody that's sober, somebody that's dealt with things like that, it's not that funny to other people. So I appreciate what he did that night.
Amen. Yeah, well said. And thank you, Tori, for your complete transparency.
Thanks, Tori.
Yeah, very important.
For sure.
Tori, do not go away. Coming up on DBL, does Kellyanne Conway's daughter, Claudia, want to be the next American Idol? What do you think about her auditioning? And also, our medical expert, Dr. Pyle Coley, is tackling COVID-19 headlines, including the latest numbers and variants. And should the Senate move forward with the Trump impeachment? We're sharing your comments next in DBL Take.
This is a smile.
Former President Trump is the first president to face an impeachment trial after leaving office. It's also another first for a president. He's accused of inciting an insurrection. But given the history of the United States, with episodes like the Civil War, we wanted to verify, is President Trump the first person to be impeached for insurrection? Our sources are the Senate records and constitutional law professor Dr. Mark Graber from the University of Maryland.
The answer is no one has been impeached and convicted of insurrection. People have been impeached and convicted, but not of insurrection.
So that's a no. Former President Trump will be the first person to be tried for insurrection. I know what you're thinking, but what about those senators and congressmen who joined the Confederacy before and during the Civil War?
Impeachment is something that's done for members of the executive and judicial branch. Senators may be expelled, representatives may be expelled, but they're not impeached.
That means there is a whole generation of senators and representatives that were expelled from office, but none of them faced a Senate impeachment trial, which makes Donald Trump the first federal official to be tried for insurrection against the United States.
Rick Hooks is here. Welcome to DBL. First off, mazel tov on making it. We're so glad you're here. You were in the hospital with COVID for 127 days and in a coma for 80 of those days.
I didn't wake up till May 2nd. My lung had collapsed. And so they ran in the room. Oh, no, he's going to die. Please help him. And, I'm still not coherent to what's going on. I hadn't woke up fully.
Welcome back to DBL. Oh, look at everyone. We just want to give you guys all a big shout out. Those are our co-workers tuning in from home during the pandemic while they work, by the way. So the Senate impeachment trial kicks off today, but a lot of people are wondering what the point of it is, while many others think that the former president should be held accountable for his role in the Capitol riot. So DBL Nation, gotta hear from you on this one. Should there be an impeachment trial in your opinion, or is it just a waste of time and money? Want to hear from you, so we're gonna read some of your comments and then go around the horn. So let's start with you, Tori. You there, Tori?
I'm there. Can you hear me?
Yep. Oh, and Al. Wow. Okay, so Tori. Ooh. Casey from Facebook says, are we going to be able to go back and impeach other past presidents like Lincoln? What a waste of time.
To be super fair, I understand people who think this might be a waste of time, but if you do like the Constitution or think it is the foundation of America, then you would understand that the framers not only put this in specifically to have this happen, they also have had precedent of impeaching someone and convicting him after he was in office 2 years later. By his name is William Hastings. So not only is this constitutional, it's happened, people died, and accountability has to be there, or I promise you this, we will see it again.
All right, and Jeff, Molly from YouTube says, I just want to make sure Trump can't run again in 4 years.
Look, Molly, if we have the likes of Joe Biden and Donald Trump again in 2024, I'm going to run. Okay, we need to comb America and find two better candidates. Okay, Joe Biden's fine, right? But let's get some candidates that people get excited about and get behind. Okay, let's not worry about Trump in 4 years.
I think a lot of people feel the same way, man. Okay, you're going to read that. I was going to read my name and then the question.
What? I know, Tori. Al, James from Twitter says this is a giant waste of time, just like the first impeachment trial.
James, I don't know. You must be really short on time. I think this will be a fascinating trial just because I have some questions. I just have questions, James. Like, where were the police? Where were the National Guard? Why were they understaffed at under 20% on the day that they knew that there could possibly be a situation like this? Why were they allowed to march right up? Why did it take 6 hours for any kind of backup to show up? Don't you have these questions, James? How busy are you? Get a day planner.
Okay, I'll take this next comment. Scott from Twitter says Trump must be held accountable so this doesn't happen ever again. I think to me, that's the most important point, because at the end of the day, I want our children and our grandchildren, whoever is their president at that time, to know that they are not above the law, that they always will be held accountable, whether you're a Democrat or Republican or an independent. We need to make sure that there's a precedent. That's where I'm coming from.
Did you see my question? I just went, and it just went right by me, and I just
don't know how we're not talking more about this, honestly. I mean, how ironic that we got to go, but it's just like
Why is it ironic?
They went after our Congress.
We're doing a TV show that's
We don't have it. Like, no one's talking. We saw more of the ocean spray guy. We heard more about him than we did about the fact that rioters were 10 seconds away from getting to our Congress and our vice president. And everybody's like, yeah, that was weird. What?
No, a lot of people are outraged.
Where? They don't even want to talk about it. They said they don't have time.
There's a lot
check out the trial that started. Jamie Raskin put a video out, and it shows it from the inside, and it is fantastic, and it'll show people what it was like that day. Watch it. It just came out. Just broke.
Thank you, Tori. Coming up on DBL, battling the coronavirus and living to tell about it. One man opens up about the fight for his life in our new series, COVID Miracles. And Dr. Coley is clearing up coronavirus confusion and putting the latest numbers into perspective. You never want to miss her vital information.
Nearly 100 million people were victims of cybercrime.
If you do believe in heaven and hell, where do you think you're going? And can you deal with, if you think you're going to hell, can you deal with that?
This February, DBL is all new every day.
No, I think that's ridiculous.
Really? Okay. Like, it is such a joke. I was shocked.
I meant for you to chime in on.
I don't know what you're saying.
DBL is just getting started.
Here come the Pistons.
I love this story. Stick with us in 2021. We're going to have a great year. Welcome back to DBL. Nearly a year into the pandemic, can you believe it? And cases and hospitalizations in the U.S. are dropping. Our medical expert, Dr. Coley, joining us. So, Dr. Coley, why are some health experts saying that despite the dropping numbers, we are in the, quote, eye of the hurricane? That makes me nervous.
You know, it makes me nervous too, but we have to first of all take a minute to celebrate the fact that our cases and hospitalizations are going down. So we're all working hard to do that, and we're doing something right. I think the vaccinations have something to do with it. But I think the point here is that we can't let our guard down because we're in a really tenuous position. The virus has a huge advantage over us because it now has a more contagious version that kills more people circulating in the community. On top of that, because our cases are going down, a lot of states are loosening up restrictions restrictions, opening up indoor dining, and kids are going back to school. So we have to think about all of this as we really figure out how to keep this virus at bay. We can't let our guard down. And I think one of the biggest pieces of that moving forward is going to be for all of us to get vaccinated. So as soon as it's your turn, be sure to put your arm out, get on that list, and get your vaccine.
Sign me up. Doc, now this might seem like a simple question, but what does the vaccine do in our fight against COVID-19? What role does it play?
You know, Jeff, the vaccine is the superhero, it's the cavalry, it's the knight in shining armor, whatever analogy you want to use, but that vaccine is going to save the day. It's going to get our lives back to normal. It's going to allow us to have parties again, have weddings, have Super Bowl celebrations, all the things that we've been dying to do. And what we've seen with the vaccine so far is that it reduces severe symptomatic cases. It also reduces asymptomatic transmission. It's already reduced hospitalizations and death. And we've also learned that it reduces asymptomatic cases. And even if you get sick, it gives you a milder version of the virus. So there's just so many advantages to getting the vaccine, and I can't wait for all of us to be vaccinated.
All right, well, you're saying this vaccine is everything, so let's hope it keeps going with this question. So if I was to be infected with the variant, will the vaccine still protect me?
This is an important question, Al. I'm so glad you asked me this. And today, for the first time, we got some data out of South Africa that the virus outsmarted the vaccine. So the South African variant, the AstraZeneca vaccine doesn't work against the South African variant. So to me, that's a little bit of a wake-up call that these variants are getting smarter. Now, thankfully for us here in the United States, the Moderna and Pfizer vaccine are the ones that are approved, and they do seem to have efficacy against the variant. It's a little bit blunted from that 95%, about 20% less efficacy against those variants, but that's still really, really good. So I think the take-home message here is get that vaccine to protect yourself against the variants and to slow the spread of the virus so that we can prevent new variants from emerging.
Amen. I cannot wait till all of us are vaccinated, and I just hope everybody out there has confidence. Listen to Dr. Coley. Get your vaccinations. We appreciate you, Dr. Coley.
Truly.
And we'll be right back.
Just hours before President Biden took over, then President Donald Trump spoke to supporters, said he will be back in some form. But could the impeachment trial keep him out of office in the future? Let's connect the dots. Today, opening statements will begin in the U.S. Senate to decide if they should convict former President Trump. Democrats are accusing him of high crimes and misdemeanors by inciting violence against the U.S. Capitol. There needs to be a 2/3 vote in the Senate to convict him, which some political experts say is unlikely. But to keep him from taking office again, that's a separate vote, one that would only require a simple majority, but would typically come after a conviction. At this point, it's only been used for federal judges who have been convicted and removed. But if Trump is convicted and even disqualified from running again, would he lose some of his presidential benefits? Experts say no. Since he's already a former president, he gets to keep things like Secret Service and his pension. If he was convicted and removed from office while he was president, then yes, he could lose presidential perks. Congress could amend the law providing former presidents with those benefits, but then that would impact all former presidents.
This February, DBL is all new every day.
No, hold on.
No, I think that's ridiculous.
Really? Okay. Like, it is such a joke. I was shocked.
I meant for you to chime in on. I don't know what you're saying.
DBL is just getting started.
Here come the Pistons.
I love this story.
Stick with us in 2021. We're going to have a great year.
I'm currently not eligible to compete in USA powerlifting because they have instituted a complete ban on trans women competing in the women's category.
To be honest with you, many of us just don't know the details. So it is so important that we have these conversations.
Tomorrow on DBL, notorious convicted killer Jodi Arias. Her former psychologist takes us inside her twisted mind.
So the whole idea of a jealous rage or any of those things didn't fit the evidence.
That's her narrative. But go ahead.
No,
Erica.
that's the record. No, back up.
That's in True Crime Chronicles. And the debate that divides the country, transgender athletes. A trans powerlifter shares her story after being banned from competing against women.
Where is the fairness in categorically banning an entire group of people?
Don't miss a second tomorrow on DBL.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. Okay, so a lot of comments in regard to Trump, the impeachment, as well as Britney. Let's start with Trump. Georgia on Facebook says, I completely agree, Al. Where is the outrage? Linda says, then wouldn't it follow suit that we go back and impeach Obama? Sean says he should be convicted. Otherwise, the next authoritarian president won't be so incompetent. And then Britney, in regard to Britney Spears, Linda says Diane was out of line in that interview. Krista says, I've always been a fan of Britney, and I'm so glad to see a different conversation about mental health and not just jokes about her anymore. And David says, never was a Britney fan, but I do feel she was treated unfairly over the years. Very big of you, Tori, to apologize, David says.
For sure. Thank you. I appreciate that. We should all take our own time to figure out what we had a part in, you know?
Well said. If you're leaving us, you can catch the second half of the show on Facebook or YouTube. You can send in your comments and be part of our DBL Nation. And if you're sticking around, here is what's coming up on DBL.
I'm going to stick around.
Please stick around. You have to. You work here. We're remembering the life and career of OG girl group star Mary Wilson from the Supremes. Plus, one man's remarkable survival story during the pandemic, from almost dying to staying alive. It's the start of our new series, COVID Miracles. And we got to thank our co-workers watching from home right now. We can't all be in the studio because of the virus, but they're still working hard. DBL's new every day. We'll be right back.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Before you break my heart, think it over.
Oh, welcome to DBL. That's the classic song Stop in the Name of Love from the Supremes. The music world is mourning the loss of Mary Wilson from the legendary group. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Al. Tori joining us from home. You know, and 76 years old, very young, right? When you really think about it, I think about my parents, they're in their 70s, and I know that she had like 9 or 10 grandchildren, 3 kids. So my heart is just absolutely with the whole family today. And her death was unexpected. She died suddenly last night in her home in Nevada, and her cause of death is not known. And of course, Mary began her career in Detroit, rose to fame alongside Diana Ross in the 1960s with the Supremes. The group produced 12 #1 hits like Stop in the Name of Love, Someday We'll Be Together, and Baby Love. And in later years, Mary became a best-selling author, a U.S. cultural ambassador, and activist who raised awareness about HIV and AIDS and advocated for world peace. This morning, Diana Ross offered condolences to Mary's family on Twitter, saying she has many wonderful memories of their time together and that the Supremes will live on in our hearts. And you know, Al, she just mentioned a couple days ago on her YouTube that she's about to release new music. So, you know, my heart breaks for her family, but her legacy will continue on.
You know what, Sam? We're using words like phrases like mourn the loss and your heart breaks, but also what about let's celebrate an unbelievable life? That has to be in there too, all right? You start off as one of the most famous people on the planet. Your music will live on forever. Your art will live on forever. Then you transition into an activist with 10 grandkids and 3 kids. If I can take that package deal and a great granddaughter, I'll take that 10 times out of 10 twice on Sunday.
Absolutely. I know. May she rest in peace. Okay, so we are getting a first look at Claudia Conway's American Idol audition. Kellyanne's daughter was featured in a promo for the season premiere on Sunday. Have a look.
Very nervous, but very excited.
She's a social media sensation.
I'm Claudia Conway. My parents are high-profile political figures.
But will she get a ticket to Hollywood?
We want an American Idol.
In a recent TikTok video, Claudia said she has been singing her whole life, that she even plays 8 instruments. She said that American Idol reached out to her after she posted a video of her singing. You know, here we go again. I know she's 16 years old. Like, we just had that Britney Spears story, and everybody's really quick to throw stones at Claudia, saying she's doing it for fame, she's doing it for all these things. She's 16. I don't know where to go with this story. So
yeah, and I kind of feel some sort of way about American Idol reaching out to her, right? Yeah. When you say Kellyanne Conway, it doesn't usually end well. I mean, just at least in the media, it doesn't, right? Some people might like her. A lot of people don't.
She's polarizing.
She's very polarizing. That's the exact word to use. And then, hold on, Tori, let me finish this thought. And then her daughter and her had this controversy that's very public. I don't like that they're using a 16-year-old to promote the show. American Idol could live on its own. I don't think they need this type of press, especially when we're just talking about Britney Spears and what she went through. So, sorry, Tori, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think people don't know the full story of the Conway family. It's sick. It's really sick. And we talk about Free Britney. There's some abuse, alleged abuse going on in that house. Like, I'm not talking funny jokes anymore. It's gotten too far. So for American Idol to pull this girl from vulnerability into a mess like American Idol is, I think, abusive in itself.
I agree. I absolutely agree. I mean, we talk about child stars, and we're like, oh, well, how did they got so famous so young, and now they're having problems in their 20s. We're doing it again. We did that story, and now we're doing it again.
America wants to watch it, and then in 20 years, you apologize for it. That's what the way it is.
However, the difference is us right now. We see it, we're protective over it, and we talk about that. Before, 10, 15 years ago, I don't know if any of us or if any of the media or any of the people watching would have said, so we have grown. We have grown, and I think that's the silver lining, and I hope that more people advocate for her and look out for her mental health, because again, she's 16, you guys, she's a minor, so let's remember that. Okay, so there's another new documentary that caught our eye. It's called Some Kind of Heaven, and it claims to expose the dark underbelly of the largest retirement community in America. The Villages, where everything is geared toward fun and leisure in a Disney-like setting. So if you don't know, The Villages is a community that's for people 55 and older. It's just north of Orlando, Florida, and it is home to more than 130,000 people. Check out this clip from the documentary.
The Village is like being on vacation every day.
The Disney World for retirees.
it is like going off to college.
You come here to live. You don't come here to pass away. There is no place like this. This is Nirvana.
Now, some of the other claims about the Villages from the documentary include racism, orgies, lots of drinking. They also apparently have a newspaper there where they only print positive news. Could you guys live in a place like this? And I hope that they get to the bottom of some of these allegations.
I was just going to say, every cult starts with like a good idea, right? You're like, oh, I would totally join that group. And then later, they're drinking crazy things, whatever it is.
Honestly, Jeff, that's the vibe I got. First of all, were there any black people there? That must be the other village. No. But like, where were they? There wasn't one in there?
I know. You couldn't.
It was very, like, come on, man.
Totally.
Even if you don't live there, like, have a dude on the bench.
You go in there?
No. Well, 55. I've had this discussion, Jeff. Our executive producer is 53, and I was like, he could technically live there in 2 years. He's a young person.
What did he say?
Yes, why not?
Does he want to go?
I think the thing is, we think about people.
So you're talking about Chris, our producer.
What about
he wants to go to Swing
Chris
City?
alone.
Is that it? Chris, you're going to Swing City?
Are you going to the Villages?
He's already got a plot of that land there. There it is.
Chris, we don't mean to put you on the spot
it's
here.
Called Chris's place. Yeah.
They put the lights on it, too.
But I mean,
they put the lights on.
Tori, could you see this being a good idea? I think for a lot of people, they've lived their life, they have their pension, they have their grandkids. They're like, I don't want to read bad news. I don't care about politics.
That sounds like a nightmare to me, Tori. Just being like constantly surrounded by a party when I like lived that in my 20s. I don't want to go back to that. I've grown from that.
Yeah, it sounds miserable.
No, thank you.
You know what?
I kind of do.
You know what
Jeff
my
wants to
Buddhist
go
teacher
there. Yes.
says? My Buddhist teacher says this about people that like always are Can you stop? They're always laughing. They're always happy no matter what. She says there's a lot of pent-up anger in there, and that's what I agree with. I can never live like that.
No.
Who's this teacher? Are you just reading like
Pema Chodron?
She's very well known.
Okay, that's not your teacher. Okay.
Very well.
You're just reading things off of here.
She is.
You
I
don't
will
have a
fight
personal
you.
relationship.
She does. She's world renowned.
Excuse me.
She is
friends? Definitely my teacher.
Excuse
me. She doesn't have to know me to be my teacher.
Al's gone. We missed him. He's dreaming about Swing City.
I want to go back. You want to go there?
Why
That's
not?
Weird.
It sounds like a swim up bar is involved, and I can handle myself mentally.
You want to go up to the swim up bar?
Yeah.
How would that be any different than living in Mexico, like for your last 30, 40 years?
Why not?
Why not?
Really?
Get a little timeshare down there. Get away from some of the news.
Because it's a bubble of racism. It's a bubble.
I'll drink out of this pineapple for a little bit.
Yeah.
You're stuck.
Stuck?
If I want to go to a swim up bar, I will get on a plane and I'll go there. If I want to go to a foam party, please somebody hit me on the side of the head and say you're not 20 anymore.
You can't go to a foam party at 70.
You can go to a foam party.
No, you can't.
Do you know
Our
the liability
executive
for
producer
that?
went to a foam party.
Who?
Bert goes.
Bert goes to
Bert.
Bert goes to Swing City too?
He doesn't go to Swing City.
We're not calling you out or anything, but who else can we call out?
I have to clarify.
I think you've said enough.
Senior executive producer does this weekly trip. They haven't done it because of the pandemic, but they do. No, I'm sorry.
Sam's pulling at the curtain.
Yearly.
Hold up. Poor Bert does a yearly trip with his family, okay, where they go to Mexico. He's there with his kids and his wife, and they do attend a foam party, but the whole resort goes to the foam party. The whole resort.
Wow.
The thoughts expressed by Sam do not reflect the other panel members.
No, not at all.
You're innocent. We love you, and I know you go to the foam party with your kids and your wife.
People must be like, man, it's a great place to work. Bert and Chris, they sound like great dudes.
We have a good
Best
team.
bosses ever.
Coming up on DBL, falling in love during the pandemic. Why two people listened to their hearts and took a major leap of faith on FaceTime. And from the brink of his death to his stunning survival, one man's story of beating the coronavirus. Do not miss the start of our new series, COVID Miracles. And our DBL staff is working hard at home during the pandemic.
Except Bert, he's at a foam party.
I'm going to get a picture of Bert. At the foam party. We're going to get a picture of Bert at the foam party. Love to all of our colleagues. Can't wait to be reunited with you all. We'll be right back.
It's Black History Month, and DBL is recognizing Black leaders who are making history right now. Like Black Lives Matter co-founder Patrisse Khan-Cullors, who created the viral hashtag that rounded up national support against police brutality and social injustice. In addition to being an activist, she's an artist, professor, and a New York Times best-selling author.
Former President Trump is the first president to face an impeachment trial after leaving office. It's also another first for a president. He's accused of inciting an insurrection. But given the history of the United States, with episodes like the Civil War, we wanted to verify, is President Trump the first person to be impeached for insurrection? Our sources are the Senate records and constitutional law professor, Dr. Mark Graber from the University of Maryland.
The answer is no one has been impeached and convicted of insurrection. People have been impeached and convicted, but not of insurrection.
So that's a no. Former President Trump will be the first person to be tried for insurrection. I know what you're thinking, but what about those senators and congressmen who joined the Confederacy before and during the Civil War?
Impeachment is something that's done for members of the executive and judicial branch. Senators may be expelled, representatives may be expelled, but they're not impeached.
That means there is a whole generation of senators and representatives that were expelled from office, but none of them faced a Senate impeachment trial, which makes Donald Trump the first federal official to be tried for insurrection against the United States.
Rick Hooks is here. Welcome to DBL. First off, mazel tov on making it. We're so glad you're here. You were in the hospital with COVID for 127 days and in a coma for 80 of those days.
I didn't wake up till May 2nd. My lung had collapsed. And so they ran in the room. Oh, no, he's going to die. Please help him. And, you know, I'm still not coherent to what's going on. I hadn't woke up fully.
Welcome back to DBL. At 57 years old, Rick Hooks had barely ever gotten a cold until COVID-19 took hold of his life and almost didn't let him go. After 127 days in the hospital, miraculously, Rick has come out on the other side. Earlier, Tori spoke to Rick in our special series, COVID Miracles.
The miraculous Rick Hooks is here. Welcome to DBL. First off, mazel tov on making it. We're so glad you're here. You were in the hospital with COVID for 127 days and in a coma for 80 of those days. So can you just take us back, paint a picture of your symptoms starting and sort of what happened and what your mental state was at the time?
I was laying down. I didn't want nothing to eat or nothing. I was weak. And, you know, I was like, and then my breathing, it seemed like my whole chest was, my whole windpipe was coming. So I had to call 911.
Wow.
So my numbers was down like maybe 79 to 80. He hooked the oxygen up to me. And you know, your average thing is supposed to be close to 100. And all I can remember, doctor, this guy's fighting for his life. We have to put him on the thing. And so I remember 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He put the thing on my face. That was in March. I didn't wake up till May 2nd. My lung had collapsed. And so they ran in the room. Oh, no, he's going to die. Please help him. And, you know, I'm still not coherent to what's going on. I hadn't woke up fully. They had to put a hole in my chest to get my lung pumped back, pumped back up. And then I went back to sleep and I didn't wake up to June after that.
Oh my word. So your descriptions are so almost cinematic. Like I can picture myself being there with you. When you were asleep, you had a very sort of visceral experience. You heard music. Can you take me through this amazing music that you heard and what it was like when you were asleep, the sensations? Paint me that picture.
California and dreaming stayed in my head a lot.
You mean by the mamas and the papas?
Yeah, by the mama and the papa. That stayed in my head. And by the animals. Right. House of the Rising Sun.
In the house of the rising sun.
The whole time. Picture this, been in a swimming pool full of oil and mud, and it's pitch black around you. You don't know where you're at, and you just try to open your eyes, and you see people in bright lights floating on top of you, and you're looking up, and you're like, where am I at? Wow. You know, and I'm looking, I'm like, and something in my back of my mind, my conscience is telling me, you ain't supposed to be here. Whoa. You ain't supposed to be here. So right then, I started, you know, I have to fight. It's a journey. I'm like, please help me. Please help me. Somebody help me. Yes.
Okay, so what's going on in your physical body while you're in the coma? Did the doctors even expect you to live through it?
Oh, that was like, basically one of the doctors said, to tell you the truth, I think you were like 90% dead. You got to understand, my lungs collapsed. I had blood clots on my left-hand side. I was on a ventilator. I was on dialysis. And they're like, they just shake their head every time they see me.
You're a miracle. Oh my God.
You're a miracle, man.
Now, all in all, you died twice. You ultimately had COVID 3 times. How did your recovery go, and are you fully recovered?
Oh no, you never really. I don't think you never fully recovered.
Yeah.
Your body is like a baby.
Yeah.
So you have to build your muscles back because you've been incubated so long. You know, your body's not your body. You have to learn how to swallow again. Wow. You have to learn how to chew food again.
Oh my God.
You have to learn how to breathe again.
Wow.
And you have to learn how to walk again. Mentally is the key to the whole thing.
Right.
If you're not strong on the other side, you will never make it back.
Wow.
Make no mistake about it. When you're down there and the other side, only thing you have left is God. That's it. That's it.
Rick Hooks, we wish you the best in your recovery. Thank you so much for taking the time, for sharing your story. I think people need to be personalized to this so they understand COVID with a face. And you really helped explain that, and you gave hope to a lot of people right now. So thank you so much.
I'm just a messenger. I'm just a messenger.
Very strong.
If I can help anybody, if I can help one person, I've done my job as a messenger.
Wow. We'll be right back.
If you do believe in heaven and hell, where do you think you're going? And can you deal with, if you think you're going to hell, can you deal with that?
This February, DBL is all new every day. No, hold on.
No, I think that's ridiculous.
Really? Okay. Like, it is such a joke. I was shocked.
I meant for you to chime in on.
I don't know what you're saying.
DBL is just getting started.
Here come the Pistons.
I love this story.
Stick with us in 2021. We're going to have a great year.
Welcome back to DBL. As we near Valentine's Day, we want to share love stories that remind us good things are possible. Even if the world feels like a mess, that's what happened between Mike and Anju. The couple shares how their leap of faith turned into a lasting love. I love love. Check it out.
Hi there, I'm Mike.
I'm Anju.
And we met online in April 2020. 10 months ago.
And we've been together since. For me, what stood out when Mike's profile came across, first his pictures were quite fun and he was quite good looking. And then on his profile, he said, I dropped out of school at 15. And I'm like, gosh, this is intriguing. That's where it all started.
But there was another fun part to the story, which was on my profile, it showed up as downtown. Andrew didn't know downtown where.
I live in Milwaukee, so I'm thinking he lives in Chicago downtown, worst comes to worst, right? So I'm like, oh, that's only a 90-minute train ride. It's close by. I'm in Chicago quite often. That's doable.
So the secret was I paid for the premium account where I could date anywhere in the world. And then she ends up with me in Nashville. So it was kind of, I think, a little bit of a surprise to her at first.
I joke about this. If I hadn't made my profile on March 10, even if I was off by a date, I would not have met Mike, right? So we talk about stars aligning. The chat opened up and I said, hey, this is an opener. I said it and Mike replies back, thanks for your message. And how about a FaceTime date tomorrow? Which is perfect. So it was my first FaceTime date.
So we get talking and that and we're enjoying it and then we keep going for 2 hours. And I remember at the end of the day, I said to a friend, I said, I think this might be the one. It was really good.
And as we're going through it, Mike goes, well, if it was regular times, I'll get on a plane and come see you. I Googled how far is the drive from Milwaukee to Nashville, and it was 8.5 hours. And I said, oh, it's only an 8.5 hour drive.
So I said, we'll toss a coin. Heads, I'll come to you, tails, you come to me. Of course, the toss ended up that she was driving to me. So the next morning, she drove to me.
And I say I won the toss because I didn't really want him coming to my place, because how do you kick somebody out? Here, I knew I could at least, I had it in me to leave.
And I was the other way around. I thought I'd rather actually make the drive because it's during COVID, there's nothing going on. And Andrew called and said, I'm here. So I buzzed her up and I saw her walking down the hallway and she dressed really nicely. So I felt good straight away.
My heart did skip a beat. It felt like all that gutsy move that I made was worth it. I used to really let my heart and mind drive me. And for once, I listened to my gut. And it's the best thing I ever did.
It is. When you think about it, we meet online. Andrew drives 8.5 hours for us to meet the next day. We start living together immediately. After 60 days, we buy a property together. I mean, if one of our kids did this, we'd think they were nuts. So I don't think this is something I can say is right or I'd recommend. It's just been beautiful for us.
What I hope is people should never stop dreaming and believing. Because when you least expect it, it's going to happen. Our first date lasted 204 days.
But it didn't really matter, did it? Because it all worked out.
Ooh, I was enjoying the story myself. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Just hours before President Biden took over, then President Donald Trump spoke to supporters, said he will be back in some form. But could the impeachment trial keep him out of office in the future? Let's connect the dots. Today, opening statements will begin in the U.S. Senate to decide if they should convict former President Trump. Democrats are accusing him of high crimes and misdemeanors by inciting violence against the U.S. Capitol. There needs to be a 2/3 vote in the Senate to convict him, which some political experts say is unlikely. But to keep him from taking office again, that's a separate vote, one that would only require a simple majority, but would typically come after a conviction. At this point, it's only been used for federal judges who have been convicted and removed. But if Trump is convicted and even disqualified from running again, would he lose some of his presidential benefits? Experts say no. Since he's already a former president, he gets to keep things like Secret Service and his pension. If he was convicted and removed from office while he was president, then yes, he could lose presidential perks. Congress could amend the law providing former presidents with those benefits, but then that would impact all former presidents.
This February, DBL is all new every day.
No.
No, I think that's ridiculous.
Really? Okay. Like, it is such a joke. I was shocked.
I meant for you to chime in on.
I don't know what you're saying.
DBL is just getting started.
Here come the Pistons.
I love this story. Stick with us in 2021. We're going to have a great year.
I'm currently not eligible to compete in USA powerlifting because they have instituted a complete ban on trans women competing in the women's category.
To be honest with you, many of us just don't know the details. So it is so important that we have these conversations. Welcome back to DBL. So we did earlier talk about our senior executive producer, Bert, at a foam party with his family. Well, here's proof.
Yes.
Wait, it's just Bert.
I thought
that. His family was there. Just kidding, Bert. There's his daughter.
All right.
And I believe we have one with his wife, Lynn, too. They're still working on it. Okay, they're still working on it. We might have that photo.
Bert is the original hashtag girl dad.
Bert's the best.
He loves his family. They travel and they take the same picture every year on vacation that they did since the girls were little.
No, really I love Bert the most.
We love you, Bert. DBL's new every day. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.
A new Britney Britney Spears documentary is creating a ton of controversy, from the toxic treatment she got from paparazzi and the media.
Because of the example for kids and how hard it is to be a parent and keep all of this away from your kids.
To the fallout from her breakup with Justin Timberlake. Does he owe her an apology? Inside America's largest retirement community, known as the Villages. Is it really just a creepy cult with orgies, racism, and lots of drinking? A man spends 127 days in the hospital battling coronavirus, near death in a coma. He's telling his incredible story as we debut our Miracle COVID Survivor series.
And you look it up, you're like, where am I at? You know?
And a sneak peek at Kellyanne Conway's daughter, Claudia, auditioning for American Idol.
I'm Claudia Conway.
We want an American Idol.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, February 9th. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Al. Miss Tori joins us from home. All right, let's get right to it. First and foremost, I know a lot of you are talking about the Britney Spears documentary. I watched it. I'm glad we're going to have the conversation about it today. So Britney is back in the spotlight because of this new documentary called Framing Britney Spears. It explores her life and the tabloid exploitation of her troubles. The film also dives into the 13 years that her father, Jamie, has been her conservator, which has spawned, of course, the Free Britney movement and the hashtag. Now, a lot of stars are supporting Britney on social media, including Andy Cohen, Bette Midler, and Sarah Jessica Parker. The film interviews some of the paparazzi who covered her very public breakdown, like the time that she attacked one of their vehicles with an umbrella. You see the photo right there. It also examines Britney's very famous relationship with Justin Timberlake and exposes some of the questions she faced surrounding their breakup, like this interview with Diane Sawyer in 2003.
You've had a rough year. You've had a year that would test a lot of people. Illness in the family, a breakup, this spasm of publicity.
My goodness, hello. Ew, strong Britney. Yeah, it was a weird time. Ew, I'm embarrassed. Can we stop this?
And Britney was 22 there. So the question is, looking back at everything that happened to Britney, was she treated unfairly? And do stars like Justin Timberlake or Diane Sawyer owe her an apology? If you go on social media, you see that there's a lot of people with their pitchforks out for Justin Timberlake, for Diane Sawyer. And before I get Tori in on this, because I know you have a unique perspective, I'm being told, Tori, I just want our viewers to also understand, if you have not seen the documentary, this moment really stuck out to my husband and I. In fact, we had to rewind it. We could not believe it. It's a Family Feud clip. Watch.
Name something Britney Spears has lost in the past year. Her husband. It's something. The hair. There it is. All right. She's lost her sanity. And she lost her mind. I'm sure Britney appreciates that. Absolutely. Let's find out what are the other things she's lost this past year. Number 2, 5, or 6, or 7, or fans. All righty, there you have it.
Wow. Tori?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Sam, great clip that I think they showed in the documentary that speaks to how the pop culture climate was. I just want to be super honest. If we're going to talk about being woke on the show, and we always say we're 100, I have to be really woke and actually apologize and own up to something that I failed at. I was a pop culture consultant for a lot of channels back then, and I fully mocked Britney Spears. I fully made fun of her. I poked fun of her mental health, the umbrella. I laughed at her. I mocked her. I satirized her. All of these things I did, and if I don't own up to that, I don't know if you can ask Justin Timberlake and all those two. So it has to start with the people in the media that caused it, and the conversation has to change. I know better now. I went through it. I feel terrible for what I did, but you got to own up to what we created a monster. We wanted the monster, and then we pushed the monster down until the monster died, and then we laughed at that monster. And I just think I was part of that problem, and I'm going to own up to that.
Well, I think listen, I think that's a great take and very personal to you, Tori. But I think we have to break this down into pieces, right? Diane Sawyer's interview to me wasn't that outdated. She cheated on Justin Timberlake. She was 22 years old. It's a fair question in my mind, okay? So that's just me. The Family Feud, that would never happen today. We've grown as a society and as a culture. And as far as apologizing, Tori, where does the list end? This is just the beginning, right? We have to go back to the Paris Hilton, Justin Bieber's, the Corey Haines. I mean, the list is never ending. Lindsay Lohan's, I mean, she was just teared apart in the media.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I just want to add one more thing that might not be a big deal. I don't like that Britney is not actually in this documentary herself. I didn't like that Tiger Woods wasn't a part of his documentary that people are profiting on HBO. So I don't like that part of it. But the Britney piece we'll get back to.
Yeah, I don't know if Britney, I see your point there. You always want to hear from the source. I don't know legally if Britney, so according to the New York Times, who's behind this documentary, right, they reached out to Britney's camp a number of times, but to their point, their narrative, the New York Times said that it's impossible to actually get to Britney. Now remember, if her father and all these people, they are alleged, right, alleged to not have Britney's best interest. Now that's just alleged, but if that's the case, do you really think that they're going to allow Britney to tell her side of the story? So that's a whole nother caveat to that documentary. Now, to your point in regard to, are we different now, today, than we would have been, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, when we saw everybody poking fun at Britney Spears? I 1,000% think that we are different today. Now, Diane Sawyer, yes. Was she doing her job? Is it anything compared to was it terrible? Yeah. But again, that was almost par for the course back then, to your point, Jeff. However, they never pushed or talked about the narrative about Justin Timberlake. Britney never said she cheated on Justin Timberlake. So that did come off misogynistic, and that was brought up.
But she did.
But nobody at that time knew exactly what happened. They all looked at Britney, and it's never been confirmed, actually, but they all actually pointed their fingers at Britney and never at Justin Timberlake. So the narrative in the documentary is, why didn't anybody point fingers at Justin Timberlake?
Wasn't she with that backup dancer guy? It's not confirmed?
It was never been confirmed, according to the sources that did the documentary.
Well, I think it's a fair question, right? I don't see, but anyways, sorry, Al, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. But really quickly, the Family Feud thing would not stand today.
It would not, and that's why I always say, for as much as we go back and we do look at old clips and we're like, I can't believe he said that, I can't believe she said that, the fact that we are all outraged and all our viewers are shows us that we are progressing, but it's just at a glacier's pace. This is what I wanted to say, because I know we got to keep it moving. The hashtag Free Britney, in a weird way, and I'm not trying to marginalize this other movement, but I feel like it's reminding me of the beginning of the Me Too movement. In the fact that this hashtag that at first was kind of laughed at and no one knew what it meant, now people are like, oh, this means mental health. So I would ask all the people that took the slings and arrows for the Free Britney hashtag, you've done half the work. Now it's Free Britney to where? Now it's maybe you can show people how to advocate for people that have mental health issues and might not be surrounded with the best people. So I feel like they're on the precipice of the next major movement. So keep going.
Yeah, I'm glad that we are there where we are today. So thank you for that. But back then, do you remember, Tori, I think you brought up the Craig Ferguson moment. Do you want to toss to it?
Yeah. No, very quickly, I just want to toss to it to say this man was ahead of his time, because he's talking about what we're talking about years later. Take a look at Craig Ferguson being real and being honest.
For me, comedy should have a certain amount of joy in it. It should be about us attacking the powerful people, attacking the politicians and the Trumps and the blowhards and going after them. We shouldn't be attacking the vulnerable people. And I think this is totally a mea culpa. This is just for me. I think my aim's been off a bit recently. I want to change it a bit. So tonight, no Britney Spears jokes.
Yeah, Tori, I'll tell you this. Sam and I sat in these chairs in our commercial break yesterday, and I told her about that clip. And the reason I remembered that clip after all these years is because I remember how much dignity that showed in somebody that's sober, somebody that's dealt with things like that. It's not that funny to other people. So I appreciate what he did that night.
Amen. Yeah, well said. And thank you, Tori, for your complete transparency.
Thanks, Tori.
Yeah, very important.
For sure.
Tori, do not go away. Coming up on DBL, does Kellyanne Conway's daughter, Claudia, want to be the next American Idol? What do you think about her auditioning? And also, our medical expert, Dr. Pyle Coley, is tackling COVID-19 headlines, including the latest numbers and variants. And should the Senate move forward with the Trump impeachment? We're sharing your comments next in DBL Take.
This is a Smile.
Former President Trump is the first president to face an impeachment trial after leaving office. It's also another first for a president. He's accused of inciting an insurrection. But given the history of the United States, with episodes like the Civil War, we wanted to verify, is President Trump the first person to be impeached for insurrection? Our sources are the Senate records and constitutional law professor, Dr. Mark Graber from the University of Maryland.
The answer is no one has been impeached and convicted of insurrection. People have been impeached and convicted, but not of insurrection.
So that's a no. Former President Trump will be the first person to be tried for insurrection. I know what you're thinking, but what about those senators and congressmen who joined the Confederacy before and during the Civil War?
Impeachment is something that's done for members of the executive and judicial branch. Senators may be expelled, representatives may be expelled, but they're not impeached.
That means there is a whole generation of senators and representatives that were expelled from office, but none of them faced a Senate impeachment trial, which makes Donald Trump the first federal official to be tried for insurrection against the United States.
Rick Hooks is here. Welcome to DBL. First off, mazel tov on making it. We're so glad you're here. You were in the hospital with COVID for 127 days and in a coma for 80 of those days.
I didn't wake up till May 2nd. My lung had collapsed. And so they ran in the room. Oh, no, he's going to die. Please help him. And, you know, I'm still not coherent to what's going on. I hadn't woke up fully.
Welcome back to DBL. Oh, look at everyone. We just want to give you guys all a big shout out. Those are our co-workers tuning in from home during the pandemic while they work, by the way. So the Senate impeachment trial kicks off today, but a lot of people are wondering what the point of it is, while many others think that the former president should be held accountable for his role in the Capitol riot. So DBL Nation, gotta hear from you on this one. Should there be an impeachment trial in your opinion, or is it just a waste of time and money? Want to hear from you. So we're gonna read some of your comments and then go around the horn. So let's start with you, Tori. You there, Tori?
I'm there. Can you hear me?
Yep. Oh, and Al. Wow. Okay, so Tori. Ooh. Casey from Facebook says, are we going to be able to go back and impeach other past presidents like Lincoln? What a waste of time.
To be super fair, I understand people who think this might be a waste of time, but if you do like the Constitution or think it is the foundation of America, then you would understand that the framers not only put this in specifically to have this happen, they also have had precedent of impeaching someone and convicting him after he was in office 2 years later by his name is William Hastings. So not only is this constitutional, it's happened, people died, and accountability has to be there, or I promise you this, we will see it again.
All right, and Jeff, Molly from YouTube says, I just want to make sure Trump can't run again in 4 years.
Look, Molly, if we have the likes of Joe Biden and Donald Trump again in 2024, I'm going to run. Okay, we need to comb America and find two better candidates. Okay, Joe Biden's fine, right? But let's get some candidates that people get excited about and get behind. Okay, let's not worry about Trump in 4 years.
I think a lot of people feel the same way, man. Okay, you're going to read that? I was going to read my name and then the question.
What?
I know, Tori. Al, James from Twitter says this is a giant waste of time, just like the first impeachment trial.
James, I don't know. You must be really short on time. I think this will be a fascinating trial just because I have some questions. I just have questions, James. Like, where were the police? Where were the National Guard? Why were they understaffed at under 20% on the day that they knew that there could possibly be a situation like this? Why were they allowed to march right up? Why did it take 6 hours for any kind of backup to show up? Don't you have these questions, James? How busy are you? Get a day planner.
Okay, I'll take this next comment. Scott from Twitter says Trump must be held accountable so this doesn't happen ever again. I think to me, that's the most important point, because at the end of the day, I want our children and our grandchildren, whoever is their president at that time, to know that they are not above the law, that they always will be held accountable, whether you're a Democrat or Republican or an independent. We need to make sure that there's a precedent. That's where I'm coming from.
Did you see my question? I just went, and it just went right by me, and I just
don't know how we're not talking more about this, honestly. I mean, how ironic that we got to go, but it's just like
Why is it ironic?
They went after our Congress.
We're doing a TV show that's
we don't have it. Like, no one's talking. We saw more of the ocean spray guy. We heard more about him than we did about the fact that rioters were 10 seconds away from getting to our Congress and our vice president. And everybody's like, yeah, that was weird. What?
No, a lot of people are outraged.
Where? They don't even want to talk about it. They said they don't have time.
There's a lot
check out the trial that started. Jamie Raskin put a video out, and it shows it from the inside, and it is fantastic, and it'll show people what it was like that day. Watch it. It just came out. Just broke.
Thank you, Tori. Coming up on DBL, battling the coronavirus and living to tell about it. One man opens up about the fight for his life in our new series, COVID Miracles. And Dr. Coley is clearing up coronavirus confusion and putting the latest numbers into perspective. You never want to miss her vital information.
Nearly 110.
If you do believe in heaven and hell, where do you think you're going? And can you deal with, if you think you're going to hell, can you deal with that?
This February, DBL is all new every day.
Hold on.
No, I think that's ridiculous.
Really? Okay. Like, it is such a joke. I was shocked.
I meant for you to chime in on.
I don't know what you're saying.
DBL is just getting started.
Here come the Pistons.
I love this story. Stick with us in 2021. We're going to have a great year. Welcome back to DBL. Nearly a year into the pandemic, can you believe it? And cases and hospitalizations in the U.S. are dropping. Our medical expert, Dr. Coley, joining us. So, Dr. Coley, why are some health experts saying that despite the dropping numbers, we are in the, quote, eye of the hurricane? That makes me nervous.
You know, it makes me nervous too, but we have to first of all take a minute to celebrate the fact that our cases and hospitalizations are going down. So we're all working hard to do that, and we're doing something right. I think the vaccinations have something to do with it. But I think the point here is that we can't let our guard down because we're in a really tenuous position. The virus has a huge advantage over us because it now has a more contagious version that kills more people circulating in the community. On top of that, because our cases are going down, a lot of states are loosening up restrictions restrictions, opening up indoor dining, and kids are going back to school. So we have to think about all of this as we really figure out how to keep this virus at bay. We can't let our guard down. And I think one of the biggest pieces of that moving forward is going to be for all of us to get vaccinated. So as soon as it's your turn, be sure to put your arm out, get on that list, and get your vaccine.
Sign me up. Doc, now this might seem like a simple question, but what does the vaccine do in our fight against COVID-19? What role does it play?
You know, Jeff, the vaccine is the superhero, it's the cavalry, it's the knight in shining armor, whatever analogy you want to use, but that vaccine is going to save the day. It's going to get our lives back to normal. It's going to allow us to have parties again, have weddings, have Super Bowl celebrations, all the things that we've been dying to do. And what we've seen with the vaccine so far is that it reduces severe symptomatic cases. It also reduces asymptomatic transmission. It's already reduced hospitalizations and death. And we've also learned that it reduces asymptomatic cases. And even if you get sick, it gives you a milder version of the virus. So there's just so many advantages to getting the vaccine, and I can't wait for all of us to be vaccinated.
All right, well, you're saying this vaccine is everything, so let's hope it keeps going with this question. So if I was to be infected with the variant, will the vaccine still protect me?
This is an important question, Al. I'm so glad you asked me this. And today, for the first time, we got some data out of South Africa that the virus outsmarted the vaccine. So the South African variant, the AstraZeneca vaccine doesn't work against the South African variant. So to me, that's a little bit of a wake-up call that these variants are getting smarter. Now, thankfully for us here in the United States, the Moderna and Pfizer vaccine are the ones that are approved, and they do seem to have efficacy against the variant. It's a little bit blunted from that 95%, about 20% less efficacy against those variants, but that's still really, really good. So I think the take-home message here is get that vaccine to protect yourself against the variants and to slow the spread of the virus so that we can prevent new variants from emerging.
Amen. I cannot wait till all of us are vaccinated, and I just hope everybody out there has confidence. Listen to Dr. Coley. Get your vaccinations. We appreciate you, Dr. Coley.
Truly.
And we'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Just hours before President Biden took over, then President Donald Trump spoke to supporters, said he will be back in some form. But could the impeachment trial keep him out of office in the future? Let's connect the dots. Today, opening statements will begin in the U.S. Senate to decide if they should convict former President Trump. Democrats are accusing him of high crimes and misdemeanors by inciting violence against the U.S. Capitol. There needs to be a 2/3 vote in the Senate to convict him, which some political experts say is unlikely. But to keep him from taking office again, that's a separate vote, one that would only require a simple majority, but would typically come after a conviction. At this point, it's only been used for federal judges who have been convicted and removed. But if Trump is convicted and even disqualified from running again, would he lose some of his presidential benefits? Experts say no. Since he's already a former president, he gets to keep things like Secret Service and his pension. If he was convicted and removed from office while he was president, then yes, he could lose presidential perks. Congress could amend the law providing former presidents with those benefits, but then that would impact all former presidents.
This February, DBL is all new every day.
No, hold on.
No, I think that's ridiculous.
Really? Okay. Like, it is such a joke. I was shocked. I meant for you to chime in on. I don't know what you're saying.
DBL is just getting started.
Here come the Pistons.
I love this story.
Stick with us in 2021. We're going to have a great year.
I'm currently not eligible to compete in USA powerlifting because they have instituted a complete ban on trans women competing in the women's category.
To be honest with you, many of us just don't know the details. So it is so important that we have these conversations.
Tomorrow on DBL, notorious convicted killer Jodi Arias. Her former psychologist takes us inside her twisted mind.
So the whole idea of a jealous rage or any of those things didn't fit the evidence.
That's her narrative. But go ahead.
No,
Erica.
that's the record. No, back up. Back up.
That's in True Crime Chronicles. And the debate that divides the country, transgender athletes. A trans powerlifter shares her story after being banned from competing against women.
Where is the fairness in categorically banning an entire group of people?
Don't miss a second tomorrow on DBL.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. Okay, so a lot of comments in regard to Trump, the impeachment, as well as Britney. Let's start with Trump. Georgia on Facebook says, I completely agree, Al. Where is the outrage? Linda says, then wouldn't it follow suit that we go back and impeach Obama? Sean says he should be convicted. Otherwise, the next authoritarian president won't be so incompetent. And then Britney, in regard to Britney Spears, Linda says Diane was out of line in that interview. Krista says, I've always been a fan of Britney, and I'm so glad to see a different conversation about mental health and not just jokes about her anymore. And David says, never was a Britney fan, but I do feel she was treated unfairly over the years. Very big of you, Tori, to apologize, David says.
For sure. Thank you. I appreciate that. We should all take our own time to figure out what we had a part in, you know?
Well said. If you're leaving us, you can catch the second half of the show on Facebook or YouTube. You can send in your comments and be part of our DBL Nation. And if you're sticking around, here is what's coming up on DBL.
I'm going to stick around.
Please stick around. You have to. You work here. We're remembering the life and career of OG girl group star Mary Wilson from the Supremes. Plus, one man's remarkable survival story during the pandemic, from almost dying to staying alive. It's the start of our new series, COVID Miracles. And we got to thank our co-workers watching from home right now. We can't all be in the studio because of the virus, but they're still working hard. DBL's new every day. We'll be right back.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Oh, welcome to DBL. That's the classic song Stop in the Name of Love from the Supremes. The music world is mourning the loss of Mary Wilson from the legendary group. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Al. Tori joining us from home. You know, and 76 years old, very young, right? When you really think about it, I think about my parents, they're in their 70s, and I know that she had like 9 or 10 grandchildren, 3 kids. So my heart is just absolutely with the whole family today. And her death was unexpected. She died suddenly last night in her home in Nevada, and her cause of death is not known. And of course, Mary began her career in Detroit, rose to fame alongside Diana Ross in the 1960s with the Supremes. The group produced 12 #1 hits like Stop in the Name of Love, Someday We'll Be Together, and Baby Love. And in later years, Mary became a best-selling author, a U.S. cultural ambassador, and activist who raised awareness about HIV and AIDS and advocated for world peace. This morning, Diana Ross offered condolences to Mary's family on Twitter, saying she has many wonderful memories of their time together and that the Supremes will live on in our hearts. And you know, Al, she just mentioned a couple days ago on her YouTube that she's about to release new music. So, you know, my heart breaks for her family, but her legacy will continue on.
You know what, Sam? We're using words like phrases like mourn the loss and your heart breaks, but also what about let's celebrate an unbelievable life? That has to be in there too, all right? You start off as one of the most famous people on the planet. Your music will live on forever. Your art will live on forever. Then you transition into an activist with 10 grandkids and 3 kids. If I can take that package deal
and a great
granddaughter, I'll take that 10 times out of 10 and twice on Sunday.
Absolutely. I know. May she rest in peace. Okay, so we are getting a first look at Claudia Conway's American Idol audition. Kellyanne's daughter was featured in a promo for the season premiere on Sunday. Have a look.
Very nervous, but very excited.
She's a social media sensation.
I'm Claudia Conway. My parents are high-profile political figures.
But will she get a ticket to Hollywood?
We want an American Idol.
In a recent TikTok video, Claudia said she has been singing her whole life, that she even plays 8 instruments. She said that American Idol reached out to her after she posted a video of her singing. You know, here we go again. I know she's 16 years old. Like, we just had that Britney Spears story, and everybody's really quick to throw stones at Claudia, saying she's doing it for fame, she's doing it for all these things. She's 16. I don't know where to go with this story. So
yeah, and I kind of feel some sort of way about American Idol reaching out to her, right? Yeah. When you say Kellyanne Conway, it doesn't usually end well. I mean, just at least in the media, it doesn't, right? Some people might like her. A lot of people don't.
She's polarizing.
She's very polarizing. That's the exact word to use. And then, hold on, Tori, let me finish this thought. And then her daughter and her had this controversy that's very public. I don't like that they're using a 16-year-old to promote the show. American Idol could live on its own. I don't think they need this type of press, especially when we're just talking about Britney Spears and what she went through. So, sorry, Tori, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think people don't know the full story of the Conway family. It's sick. It's really sick. And we talk about Free Britney. There's some abuse, alleged abuse going on in that house. Like, I'm not talking funny jokes anymore. It's gotten too far. So for American Idol to pull this girl from vulnerability into a mess like American Idol is, I think, abusive in itself.
I agree. I absolutely agree. I mean, we talk about child stars, and we're like, oh, well, how did they got so famous so young, and now they're having problems in their 20s. We're doing it again. We did that story, and now we're doing it again.
America wants to watch it, and then in 20 years, you apologize for it. That's the way it is.
However, the difference is us right now We see it,
realize
we're
it.
protective over it, and
Yeah.
we talk about that. Before, 10, 15 years ago, I don't know if any of us or if any of the media or any of the people watching would have said, so we have grown. We have grown, and I think that's the silver lining, and I hope that more people advocate for her and look out for her mental health, because again, she's 16, you guys, she's a minor, so let's remember that. Okay, so there's another new documentary that caught our eye. It's called Some Kind of Heaven, and it claims to expose the dark underbelly of the largest retirement community in America. The Villages, where everything is geared toward fun and leisure in a Disney-like setting. So if you don't know, The Villages is a community that's for people 55 and older. It's just north of Orlando, Florida, and it is home to more than 130,000 people. Check out this clip from the documentary.
The Village is like being on vacation every day.
The Disney World for retirees.
It is like going off to college.
You come here to live. You don't come here to pass away. There is no place like this. This is Nirvana.
Now, some of the other claims about The Villages from the documentary include racism, orgies, lots of drinking. They also apparently have a newspaper there where they only print positive news. Could you guys live in a place like this? And I hope that they get to the bottom of some of these allegations.
I was just going to say, every cult starts with like a good idea, right? You're like, oh, I would totally join that group. And then later, they're drinking crazy things, whatever it is.
Honestly, Jeff, that's the vibe I got. First of all, were there any black people there? That must be the other village.
No.
But like, where were they? There wasn't one in there?
I know. You couldn't.
It was very, like, come on, man.
Totally.
Even if you don't live there, like, have a dude on the bench.
You go in there?
No. Well, 55. I've had this discussion, Jeff. Our executive producer is 53, and I was like, he could technically live there in 2 years. He's a young person.
What did he say?
Yes, why not?
Does he want to go?
I think the thing is, we think about people.
So you're talking about Chris, our producer.
What about
he wants to go to Swing
Chris
City?
alone.
Is that it? Chris, you're going to Swing City?
What, are you going to The Villages?
He's already got a plot of that land there. There it is.
Chris, we don't mean to put you on the spot
it's
here.
Called Chris's place. Yeah.
Chris alone.
They put the lights on it, too.
But I mean,
they put the lights on.
Tori, could you see this being a good idea? I think for a lot of people, they've lived their life, they have their pension, they have their grandkids. They're like, I don't want to read bad news. I don't care about politics.
That sounds like a nightmare to me, Tori. Just being like constantly surrounded by a party when I like lived that in my 20s. I don't want to go back to that. I've grown from that.
Yeah, it sounds miserable.
No, thank you.
You know what?
I kind of do.
You know what
Jeff
my
wants to
Buddhist
go
teacher
there. Yes.
says? My Buddhist teacher says this about people that like always are Can you stop? They're always laughing. They're always happy no matter what. She says there's a lot of pent-up anger in there, and that's what I agree with. I can never live like that.
No.
Who's this teacher? Are you just reading like
Pema Chodron?
She's very well known.
Okay, that's not your teacher.
Chodron.
Okay?
Very well.
You're just reading.
World
You're reading things off of here.
Yes, she is.
You
I
don't
will
have a
fight
personal
you.
relationship.
She does. She's world renowned.
Excuse
Pema.
me.
They're
She is
friends?
definitely my teacher.
Excuse
me. She doesn't have to know me to be my teacher.
Al's gone. We missed him.
Wait
He's
a second.
dreaming about Swing City.
I want to go back.
Swing City.
You want to go there?
Why
That's
not?
Weird.
It sounds like a swim-up bar is involved, and I can handle myself mentally.
You want to go up to the swim-up bar?
Yeah.
How would that be any different than living in Mexico, like for your last 30, 40 years?
Why not?
Why not?
Really?
Get a little timeshare down there. Get away from some of the news.
Because it's a bubble of racism. It's a bubble.
I'll drink out of this pineapple for a little bit.
Yeah.
You're stuck.
Stuck?
If I want to go to a swim-up bar, I will get on a plane and I'll go there. If I want to go to a foam party, please somebody hit me on the side of the head and say you're not
70 years old. You can't go to a foam party at 70.
You can go to a foam party.
No, you can't.
Do you know
Our
the liability
senior executive
for
producer
that?
went to a foam party.
Who?
Bert goes.
Bert goes.
Bert goes to Swing City too?
He doesn't go to Swing City.
We're not calling you out or anything, but who else can we call out?
I have to clarify.
I think you've said enough.
Senior executive producer does this weekly trip. They haven't done it because of the pandemic, but they do. No, I'm sorry.
Sam's pulling at the curtain.
Yearly.
Hold up. Poor Bert does a yearly trip with his family, okay, where they go to Mexico. He's there with his kids and his wife, and they do attend a foam party, but the whole resort goes to the foam party. The whole resort.
Wow.
The thoughts expressed by Sam do not reflect the other panel members.
No, not at all.
You're innocent. We love you, and I know you go to the foam party with your kids and your wife.
People must be like, man, it's a great place to work. Bert and Chris, they sound like great dudes.
We have a good
Best
team.
bosses ever.
Coming up on DBL, falling in love during the pandemic. Why two people listened to their hearts and took a major leap of faith on FaceTime. And from the brink of his death to his stunning survival, one man's story of beating the coronavirus. Do not miss the start of our new series, COVID Miracles. And our DBL staff is working hard at home during the pandemic.
Except Bert, he's at a foam party.
I'm going to get a picture of Bert. At the foam party. We're going to get a picture of Bert at the foam party. Love to all of our colleagues. Can't wait to be reunited with you all. We'll be right back.
It's Black History Month, and DBL is recognizing Black leaders who are making history right now. Like Black Lives Matter co-founder Patrisse Khan-Cullors, who created the viral hashtag that rounded up national support against police brutality and social injustice. In addition to being an activist, she's an artist, professor, and a New York Times best-selling author.
Former President Trump is the first president to face an impeachment trial after leaving office. It's also another first for a president. He's accused of inciting an insurrection. But given the history of the United States, with episodes like the Civil War, we wanted to verify, is President Trump the first person to be impeached for insurrection? Our sources are the Senate records and constitutional law professor, Dr. Mark Graber from the University of Maryland.
The answer is no one has been impeached and convicted of insurrection. People have been impeached and convicted, but not of insurrection.
So that's a no. Former President Trump will be the first person to be tried for insurrection. I know what you're thinking, but what about those senators and congressmen who joined the Confederacy before and during the Civil War?
Impeachment is something that's done for members of the executive and judicial branch. Senators may be expelled, representatives may be expelled, but they're not impeached.
That means there is a whole generation of senators and representatives that were expelled from office, but none of them faced a Senate impeachment trial, which makes Donald Trump the first federal official to be tried for insurrection against the United States.
Rick Hooks is here. Welcome to DBL. First off, mazel tov on making it. We're so glad you're here. You were in the hospital with COVID for 127 days and in a coma for 80 of those days.
I didn't wake up till May 2nd. My lung had collapsed. And so they ran in the room. Oh, no, he's going to die. Please help him. And, I'm still not coherent to what's going on. I hadn't woke up fully.
Had barely ever gotten a cold until COVID-19 took hold of his life and almost didn't let him go. After 127 days in the hospital, miraculously, Rick has come out on the other side. Earlier, Tori spoke to Rick in our special series, COVID Miracles.
The miraculous Rick Hooks is here. Welcome to DBL. First off, mazel tov on making it. We're so glad you're here. You were in the hospital with COVID for 127 days and in a coma for 80 of those days. So can you just take us back, paint the picture of your symptoms starting and sort of what happened and what your mental state was at the time?
I was laying down. I didn't want nothing to eat or nothing. I was weak. And, I was like, oh. And then my breathing seemed like my whole chest my whole windpipe was coming. So I had to call 911.
Wow.
So my numbers was down like maybe 79 to 80. He hooked the oxygen up to me. And you know, your average thing is going to be close to 100. And all I can remember, doctor, this guy's fighting for his life. We have to put him on the thing. And so I remember 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He put the thing on my face. That was in March. I didn't wake up till May 2nd. My lung had collapsed. And so they ran in the room. Oh, no, he's gonna die. Please help him. And, you know, I'm still not coherent to what's going on. I haven't woke up fully. They had to put a hole in my chest to get my lung pumped back, pumped back up. And then I went back to sleep, and I didn't wake up to June after that.
Oh my word. So your descriptions are so almost cinematic. Like I can picture myself being there with you. When you were asleep, you had a very sort of visceral experience. You heard music. Can you take me through this amazing music that you heard and what it was like when you were asleep, the sensations? Paint me that picture.
California Dreaming stayed in my head a lot.
You mean by the mamas and the papas?
Yeah, by the mama and the papa. That stayed in my head, and by the animals. Right. House of the Rising Sun. In the house of the rising sun. The whole time. Picture this, been in a swimming pool full of oil and mud, and it's pitch black around you. You don't know where you're at, and you just try to open your eyes, and you see people in bright lights floating on top of you, and you're looking up, and you're like, where am I at? Wow. You know? And I'm looking, I'm like, and something in my back of my mind, my conscience is telling me, you ain't supposed to be here. Whoa. You ain't supposed to be here. So right then, I started, you know, I have to fight. It's a journey. I'm like, please help me. Please help me. Somebody help me. Yes. Okay, so what's going on in your physical body while you're in the coma? Did the doctors even expect you to live through it? No, that was like, basically one of the doctors said, to tell you the truth, I think you were like 90% dead. You got to understand, my lungs collapsed. I had blood clots on my left-hand side. I was on a ventilator. I was on dialysis. And they're like, they just shake their head every time they see me.
You're a miracle. Oh my God.
You're a miracle, man.
Now, all in all, you died twice. You ultimately had COVID 3 times. How did your recovery go, and are you fully recovered? Oh no, you never really. I don't think you never fully recovered. Yeah. Your body is like a baby. Yeah. So you have to build your muscles back because you've been incubated so long. You know, your body's not your body. You have to learn how to swallow again. Wow. You have to learn how to chew food again. Oh my God. You have to learn how to breathe again. Wow. And you have to learn how to walk again. Mentally is the key to the whole thing. Right. If you're not strong on the other side, you will never make it back. Wow. Make no mistake about it. When you're down there and the other side, only thing you have left is God. That's it. That's it. Rick Hooks, we wish you the best in your recovery. Thank you so much for taking the time, for sharing your story. I think people need to be personalized to this so they understand COVID with a face. And you really helped explain that, and you gave hope to a lot of people right now. So thank you so much. I'm just a messenger. I'm just a messenger. Very strong. If I can help anybody, if I can help anybody, if I can help one person, I've done my job as a messenger. Wow. We'll be right back.
If you do believe in heaven and hell, where do you think you're going? And can you deal with, if you think you're going to hell, can you deal with that?
This February, DBL is all new every day.
Hold on.
No, I think that's ridiculous.
Really? Okay. Like, it is such a joke. I was shocked. I meant for you to chime in on. I don't know what you're saying.
DBL is just getting started.
Here come the Pistons.
I love this story. Stick with us in 2021. We're going to have a great year.
Welcome back to DBL. As we near Valentine's Day, we want to share love stories that remind us good things are possible. Even if the world feels like a mess, that's what happened between Mike and Anju. The couple shares how their leap of faith turned into a lasting love. I love love. Check it out.
Hi there, I'm Mike.
I'm Anju.
And we met online in April 2020. 10 months ago.
And we've been together since. For me, what stood out when Mike's profile came across, first his pictures were quite fun and he was quite good looking. And then on his profile, he said, I dropped out of school at 15. And I'm like, gosh, this is intriguing. That's where it all started.
But there was another fun part to the story, which was on my profile, it showed up as downtown. Andrew didn't know downtown where.
I live in Milwaukee, so I'm thinking he lives in Chicago downtown, worst comes to worst, right? So I'm like, oh, that's only a 90-minute train ride. You know, it's close by. I'm in Chicago quite often. That's doable.
So the secret was I paid for the premium account where I could date anywhere in the world. And then she ends up with me in Nashville. So it was kind of, I think, a little bit of a surprise to her at first.
I joke about this. If I hadn't made my profile on March 10, even if I was off by a date, I would not have met Mike, right? So we talk about stars aligning. The chat opened up and I said, hey, this is an opener. I said it and Mike replies back, thanks for your message. And how about a FaceTime date tomorrow? Which is perfect. So it was my first FaceTime date.
So we get talking and that and we're enjoying it and then we keep going for 2 hours. And I remember at the end of the date, I said to a friend, I said, I think this might be the one. It was really good.
And as we're going through it, Mike goes, well, if it was regular times, I'll get on a plane and come see you. I Googled how far is the drive from Milwaukee to Nashville, and it was 8.5 hours. And I said, oh, it's only an 8.5 hour drive.
So I said, we'll toss a coin. Heads, I'll come to you, tails, you come to me. Of course, the toss ended up that she was driving to me. So the next morning, she drove to me.
And I say I won the toss because I didn't really want him coming to my place, because how do you kick somebody out? Here, I knew I could at least, I had it in me to leave.
And I was the other way around. I thought I'd rather actually make the drive because it's during COVID, there's nothing going on. And Andrew called and said, I'm here. So I buzzed her up and I saw her walking down the hallway and she dressed really nicely. So I felt good straight away.
My heart did skip a beat. It felt like all that gutsy move that I made was worth it. I used to really let my heart and mind drive me. And for once, I listened to my gut. And it's the best thing I ever did.
It is. When you think about it, we meet online. Andrew drives 8.5 hours for us to meet the next day. We start living together immediately. After 60 days, we buy a property together. I mean, if one of our kids did this, we'd think they were nuts. So I don't think this is something I can say is right or I'd recommend. It's just been beautiful for us.
What I hope is people should never stop dreaming and believing. Because when you least expect it, it's gonna happen. Our first date lasted 204 days.
But it didn't really matter, did it? Because it all worked out.
Ooh, I was enjoying the story myself. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought
Just hours before President Biden took over, then President Donald Trump spoke to supporters, said he will be back in some form. But could the impeachment trial keep him out of office in the future? Let's connect the dots. Today, opening statements will begin in the U.S. Senate to decide if they should convict former President Trump. Democrats are accusing him of high crimes and misdemeanors by inciting violence against the U.S. Capitol. There needs to be a 2/3 vote in the Senate to convict him, which some political experts say is unlikely. But to keep him from taking office again, that's a separate vote, one that would only require a simple majority, but would typically come after a conviction. At this point, it's only been used for federal judges who have been convicted and removed. But if Trump is convicted and even disqualified from running again, would he lose some of his presidential benefits? Experts say no. Since he's already a former president, he gets to keep things like Secret Service and his pension. If he was convicted and removed from office while he was president, then yes, he could lose presidential perks. Congress could amend the law providing former presidents with those benefits, but then that would impact all former presidents.
This February, DBL is all new every day.
Hold on.
No, I think that's ridiculous.
Really? Okay. Like, it is such a joke. I was shocked. I meant for you to chime in on. I don't know what you're saying.
DBL is just getting started.
Here come the Pistons.
I love this story. Stick with us in 2021. We're going to have a great year.
I'm currently not eligible to compete in USA powerlifting because they have instituted a complete ban on trans women competing in the women's category.
To be honest with you, many of us just don't know the details. So it is so important that we have these conversations. Welcome back to DBL. So we did earlier talk about our senior executive producer, Bert, at a foam party with his family. Well, here's proof.
Yes.
Wait, it's just Bert.
I thought
that. His family was there. Just kidding, Bert. There's his daughter.
All right.
And I believe we have one with his wife, Lynn, too. They're still working on it. Okay, they're still working on it. We might have that photo.
Bert is the original hashtag girl dad.
Bert's the best.
He loves his family. They travel, and they take the same picture every year on vacation that they did since the girls were little.
No, really I love Bert the most.
We love you, Bert. DBL's new every day. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.